Van je viel grim naar hier. Kader rief nach me in hart. Down the sam kabel der scale. Ach tam mer malakart. Dear she long gonna go satans. Dagen kiel revish. She master in lerkin other war she. She tower in queen. So lig my seer on soon there. Spawn and bow where is Kakaram. Ban and make can't scream amach shmine. Give it to the so lig my seer on soon there. Spawn and bow where is Kakaram. Ban and make can't scream amach shmine. Give it to the trauma is een wienerhol vriend. Geen een mele rol in hij. We show me race as a mee unfold. Staan een mee eruit. So lig my seer on soon daar. Spannen boom her is gekaram. Van en mee kan schrijven mag je mijn. Give it your time. So lig my seer on soon daar. Spannen boom her is gekaram. Van en mee kan schrijven mag je mijn. Give it your time. Give it your time. Give it your time.
But you know nothing about her. Been to hell and back. I can show you vouchers. I'm rolling sweets. I'm smoking sour. Married to the game, but she broke her vows. That's why my bars are full of broken bottles, and my nightstands are full of open Bibles. I think about more than I forget. But I don't go around fire expecting not to sweat. And these niggas know I lay them down, make your bed. Bitches try to kick me while I'm down, I break your leg. Money outweighing problems on a triple beam. I'm sticking to the script, you niggas skipping scenes. Be good or be good at it. Fucking right, I got my gun, semi-automatic. Yeah, put the dick in their mouth, so I guess it's fuck what they say. I'm high as a bitch, up in the way, man. I come down in a couple of days. Okay, you want me up in the cage, then I'll come out in beast mode. I got this world stuck in a safe combination. Is the cheat code? This Weezy motherfucker blood gang, and I'm in bleed mode. All about my dough, but I don't even check the peephole. So you could keep knocking, but won't knock me down. No love lost, no love found.
It's a little too late to say that you're sorry now. You kicked me when I was down, but what you say just don't hurt.
That's right,
it don't hurt.
I don't need you
no more.
Don't wanna see you no more. Bitch,
you get no love. You show me nothing but hate. You ran me into the ground, but what comes around goes around. And you don't hurt.
That's right,
you don't hurt.
And I don't need you
no more.
Don't wanna see you. Bitch,
you get no love.
Alive again, more alive than I have been in my whole entire life. I can see these people's ears perk up as I begin to spaz with the pen. I'm a little bit sicker than most. Shit's finna get thick again. They say the competition is stiff, but I get a hard dick from the shit. Now stick it in. I ain't never giving in again. Caution to the wind, complete freedom. Look at these rappers, how I treat them. So why the fuck would I join them when I beat them? They call me a freak cause I like to spit on these pussies before I eat them. Man, get these whack cocksuckers off stage. Where the fuck is Kanye when you need him? Snatch the mic from him, bitch, I'ma let you finish in a minute. Yeah, the rappers tight, but I'm finished with the greatest verse of all time. So you might wanna go back to the lab tonight and scribble out them rhymes you were gonna spit and start over from scratch and write new ones. But I'm afraid that it ain't gonna make no difference when I rip the stage and tear it in half tonight. It's an adrenaline rush, you feel the bass dump from the place all the way to the parking lot, fellow. Set fire to the mic and ignite the crowd. You can see the sparks from hot metal, cold-hearted from the day I guarded the game. My soul started to rock, fellow. When I'm not even in my harshest, you can still get roasted, cause Marcia's not mellow till I'm top. Pulling from the top, I'm not gonna stop. I'm standing on my monopoly board. That means I'm on top of my game, and it don't stop till my hip don't hop anymore. When you're so good that you can't say, cause it ain't even cool for you to sound cocky anymore. People just get sick cause you spit, these fools can't drool or dribble or drop anymore. And you can never break my stride, you never slow the momentum at any moment I'm about to blow. You never take my pride, killing the flow, slow venom and the opponent is getting no mercy. Mark my words, ain't letting up relentless, I smell blood. I don't give a fuck, keep giving them hell. Where was you when I found and needed help up? You get no love.
It's a little too late to say that you're sorry now. You kicked me when I was down, but what you say just don't hurt.
That's right,
it don't hurt.
And I don't need you
no more.
Don't wanna see you no more. Bitch,
you get no love. You show me nothing but hate. You ran me into the ground, but what comes around goes around. And you don't hurt.
That's right,
you don't hurt.
And I don't need you
no more.
Don't wanna see you no more. Bitch, you get no love.
And thanks for joining us here. This is a Friday night show. I don't normally do Friday night shows, and thanks for joining us tonight. It's a Friday night crackpot conspiracy show, live on a Friday night. Normally do taxing, but no taxing tonight for me. We're sitting here behind us, wheels of steel on the ones and twos, giving the Aldi, tell 10 to tell 10, tell Ken to tell Ken, tell 10, tell Ken to tell Barbie. If I could just pull this one across, it would be quite well.
On Monday, the 9th of August, 1971, at 4:30 a.m, Irish men from all over the 6 counties were taken from their homes. Hundreds of these men were then imprisoned without trial in Longcache concentration camp. This is a song born of the civil resistance campaign which followed internment. a song dedicated to those men in Long Kesh who are still, more than 10 years later, the men behind the wire.
Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons, but every man will stand behind the men behind the wire. Through the little streets of Belfast in the dark of early morn, British soldiers came marauding, wrecking little homes with scorn. Heedless of the crying children, dragging fathers from their beds, beating sons while helpless mothers watched the blood pour from their heads. Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons, for every man will stand behind the men behind the wire. Not for them a judge and jury, nor indeed a crime at all. Being Irish means they're guilty, so we're guilty one and all. Round the world the truth will echo, Cromwell's men are here again. England's name again is sullied in the eyes of honest men. Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons, for every man will stand behind the men behind the wire. Proudly march behind our banners, firmly stand behind our men. We will have them free to help us build a nation once again. On the people, step together, proudly, firmly on your way. Never fear and never falter, till the boys come home to stay. Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons, for every man will stand behind the men behind the wire. Armored cars and tanks and guns came to take away our sons, for every man will stand behind the men behind the wire.
We're back. A bit of silence from our good friends in the Noise Abatement Society. Everything sits here with a pause. We're just ready here with weighted breath, and we're good to go now. Big shout out to all the crackpots joining us: the Parrot, Reese Ultra, Beyond the Waves, Chucky Lara. Happening out there. Tell Kent. And so got that on there, got that on here. I know why, that's why. Shh. See, that's why that took so long to download. Okay, I was playing a stream from the tennis. How did that happen? How did that happen? Right, has anybody heard of somebody called Gilderay? Gilderay, is there a Gilderay in the house? Gilderay, is there Gilderay? He passes a tune. Kill the Rich. Now, I haven't actually heard this tune. He guarantees me that it's not too dodgy. It's not dodgy at all. Here we go. Let's double check. We're just uploading this here, the Gilderay classic. And Mr. Gilderay, we're just playing his tune. If you know Gilderay, tell Gilderay we're about to play his tune. Right, come on, is that loaded? There we go. Here we go, Gilderay. Kill the Rich, I do believe. Now, if you've got any tunes you want me to play, hit me with it.
I really feel sorry for you. You know, we're the same age. And here you are defending a miserable existence. Don't you realize how you're being exploited? How the people who control the money are diminishing your existence to working in a fucking dirty factory which puts black smoke up in the air, which pollutes the entire world? you're being duped, how they get your head fucked with, how they have you indoctrinated, how they have you conditioned, how they misinformed you. Don't you see this? Are you that blind?
Wow. Hardcore or what? Gildy Ray. What the fuck was that? You're having a giraffe. I've never played it before. It was the first playing of that tune in my life. Hardcore to the floor. I can't condone anything about any killing of anything, no. No killing of anything here from a crackpot. The crackpot says, no killing, not even the rich. I pity them even more. I pity the rich. No hate, no killing. Let's just pity their worthless, hopeless souls. Well, not all rich are hopeless souls, some are really good. But the ones who make it with nefarious means, these illicit banksters, I think I'm going to have to... right, somebody's phoned us here, we're just changing a number for phoning out. So whoever phoned us there, I'm going to phone you in 2 minutes. Your number has been noted. Whoever has phoned, we've got your number. Ah. Oh, we've got 2 numbers here. So the parrot has phoned. Let's see who's getting in here first. 2 calls. And the parrot was in at 12:18, and then 2 calls from a 12:22, 22 and a 12:23. Ah, decisions. So we'll get 2 calls. What we do, we'll pull this round here so we get the mic. Since it's night time, we're sitting here in Little Island. Yes, indeed. If you don't believe it, I shall go and play the piano. Stay there. Oof. Oof. Try to do this standing up, I can't get to it. Yes, it wasn't quite Richard Claderman, it was Richard Crackpot. Richard Crackpot. Right, enough of that nonsense. Did you hear it? Sorry for that. Getting carried away there with the old twinkle in the ivories. I was just about to go and get a cover. Right. We're going to get, who was it phoned first? The Parrot. Parrot will get the other brother who's phoned in. He'll see who this is. 2 seconds. There we go, got this one on here. Back in 2 minutes.
Must be some kind of way out of here, said a joker to the thief. There's too much confusion, I can't get no relief. Businessman there to drink my wine, plowman dig my earth. None will level on the mine, nobody of it is worth. Hey. No reason to get excited, the thing they kindly spoke. There are many here among us who feel that life is but a joke. But you and I, we've been through that, and this is not our fate. So let us start talking falsely now. The hour's getting late. Hey!
Hello.
Hello.
Is that Tommy?
Yes, who's that?
It's one of your followers on Twitter. You said ring in, you're doing a show, and I thought, as a Celtic fan from Belfast, I may as well give you a shout.
What about you? What's your name, mate?
Paul. Not too bad at all, sir. I'm the wonderful H on Twitter. That's myself. So.
Thanks for phoning, mate. How are you doing anyway tonight? What are you up to tonight?
Not too bad. Just a wee bit of a difficult situation because I get in after a few jars, and I have an accountancy class starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, going on all day. So I have to hit the hay very soon. You know.
You're hitting the hay. Are you knocking it out? Are you taking a swift uppercut to it? Or are you just going to?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. You know, I'm sort of slowly trying to digest the draw that we got yesterday, and I'm going to be sleeping on it tonight, and getting up and doing some advanced management accountancy tomorrow. Something that Sevco could be doing. Probably they should be doing a bit of classes in it themselves, but. That's not our problem anyway, you know.
Can you quantify what is advanced accountancy when it's at home?
No, advanced management accountancy, that is performance management. So that is, forget about what you have to show in your statements at the end of the year. It's about how you're showing your business, or how you're demonstrating to your business each month how you're performing and how you can enhance your performance. Something Peter Lawwell would have been doing very diligently over the last few months, and some would say has maybe over gambled, and maybe the gamble had paid off by not replacing the quality that we'd lost during the summer. But you know, it's thankfully I'll not be doing it in footballing terms tomorrow during the day. But that's what I'm at tomorrow anyway. But
you're doing this for a capitalist company then? You're working for a capitalist system when you're doing your advanced business accounting?
Well, I mean, you know, I'm glad you said that, Tommy. I mean, as an Irishman, I mean, you know, a capitalist system, not at all. I think that any system, I think that any system in the world, or any organisation in the world, whether it be driven by the people or whether it be driven by capital, deserves to have an element of performance management. And I think that as an Irishman, and as a very proud Irishman, I don't think that I'm really geared towards a capitalist system per se, but I certainly think that anything, and I mean, if you look at Britain and you look at the public sector, I think that performance isn't particularly. I don't think it's I don't think it's a particularly driving force between what people are expected to do as an output, and I think that that's a difficulty. I don't think that that's a capitalist mindset per se, but
no, the reason why I'd mentioned the capitalist was the way you'd come out with the. It's a brilliant phrase. Can you repeat it again? At this time of night, my mind, I've had a hectic day. You know, things aren't sticking to my mind so readily. It's like, so as an accountant, what was you say? Run it past me again.
No, I take you. Run it past you again 100 times. The only show in town for me at this moment in time is the fact that I have a class to go to at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and that's it. And it's.
Business account management?
It is, yes, it is. It's CIMA, it's Chartered Institute of Management Accountancy, and it's not a capitalist thing at all.
No.
That's my chosen profession, you know.
It was just the way you'd said it. It just sounded so professional and so.
Well, here, and thank you very much for saying that, Tommy. And I'm glad, because it's, you know, that's the Irishman. I mean, you know, it's you know, you have to have a poetic twang whenever you say things. You have to be able to say things with a, you know, sometimes when things don't sound so good, you have to make them sound good as well, you know.
You're right.
So we're here. So what did you think of the draw yourself then, sir?
I'm ecstatic, mate. Totally ecstatic with it, yeah.
Do you know what? I'm exactly the same. You see this fucking notion of oh God, the group of death and this, that, and the other bollocks. Bollocks to all that there. See, if you had said to us on Tuesday morning, look, this is what we'll give you. We'll give you Barcelona, we'll give you Ajax, we'll give you AC Milan. Will you take it? We would have bitten anybody's hand off for it. This is what we're about. We're about getting back into the big time, and we are a big time club, and we're back in the big time. And I think bring them on, bring on the big, bring on the best, because that's what we're about. And there's no point in trying to hide around and, that's a nice group. We could probably do this. We could probably do that. Bring them all on. Bring them on, because that's what our club's about. And
you're right, because we came within 1 minute, right? We came within a George Scotland goal. That's all it was from topping that group. So if we can top a group, or what come within 1 minute of topping that group,
1 minute. Well, here. No, you're wrong. We came within 20 seconds of topping that group. We came within 20 seconds.
19 seconds. 19. It was 19.
Now, well, there you go then. There you get it fucking right. Exactly. In the new camp, we came that close to getting a draw in the new camp. And we've done, and I'll tell you another thing, Tommy. I'll tell you another thing that I'm very pissed off about. What I've seen on Twitter and I've seen a lot of chat about over the last year is this notion of people going on about, well, we beat Barcelona and that was a highlight, beating Barcelona. Number one, we've won the European Cup, right? We won the European Cup. We'd have beaten finalists in 1970, right? We're no strangers to this trophy. This notion that we beat Barcelona, well, Jesus, well, we'd be fucking shit. A lot of the people who are saying that don't realise that we put Barcelona out of the UEFA Cup not so long ago as well, and that was a two-legged affair. So this notion of suddenly we beat Barcelona, well, suddenly the history started last year, and that's it. I don't accept that, and I don't like it. And, I'm very upset with this sort of notion that, and maybe it is coming through from Twitter, Facebook, or whatever. You're 18, 19 years of age and you don't know our history, and oh my God, we beat Barcelona at Chelsea Park. Well, that's just fucking Anno Domini fucking +1 after that. That's us. We're on our fucking way now. Well, excuse me, but that's just part of our story. Do you know what I mean? We've beaten these fucking sides. We've beaten these sides before. We can do it again.
In the last 10 years, right? We went to Ajax, we beat them, and we put them out home and away. All right,
we beat them 3-1. We beat them 3-1. And I had to pull somebody up on Twitter as well. And somebody had jumped the gun and said the last time we played these three sides, we've beat them. And I said, actually, no, we didn't, because Ajax beat us 1-0 at Parkhead, because I was at the game, and that was on the back of us winning 3-1, and that was our first time qualifying for the Champions League.
That's it.
And I remember the ecstasy that night, and mine, because we went back to Ireland that very night, and the crack was unbelievable. It was brilliant. We got there at last, and and that was what 2001 actually, it might have been, and
right.
So that sort of notion of, but exactly, you know what I mean? And there's me going to accountancy class tomorrow, you know what it's like, you know what I mean?
Well, you've been counters like.
Aye, exactly. But I'd be sitting beside Craig White tomorrow, and we'll both be going, here, what did you get for that? That would be me.
No, but listen, what I was going to say was the fact that we beat Milan, current champions of Europe,
That's right. Yeah.
We beat them in the last minute. We beat Barcelona 2-1. Both these times, the last times these two teams have came to Celtic Park, we matched them in more than anything and beat them 2-1 and home and away. So then if you look at it, the last season, if it was a knockout decider between us and Barca, 3 each. I mean, it would be 3 each. So we're
that's right.
Fair, mate.
Yeah.
To come second, I mean, if we buy some players, there's no reason why we can't dream for second and go for it, because
I agree.
We should always aim for the top, because we put our hands on the top, and we should aim for that again.
No, I agree with you. I think the player that we I don't think we're going to get him, and I think Lawal is to blame for this. The player that could make the difference between us, really fucking an impact in that group, is Finn Bogason. And I don't think we're going to spend, and it's not outrageous money. I don't think we're going to spend the 5.5 million sterling on him, and I think that's a disgrace. I think that's the type of signing that could excite and ignite the fan base as good as Larsson done. I think that guy has the potential to be another Larsson for us. And I think the kind of, and I understand the strategy to a degree. In fact, I understand the strategy more than to a degree. But I think the fans need a little bit of excitement to lead. A little bit of a thank you as such for the nerve-wracking experience of getting through qualification. And I don't think lashing out 5.5 million quid when we have it on a guy that isn't going to be demanding 50 grand a week. You know, it's not going to break our wage structure. I think the fee would certainly be big, but the wage structure wouldn't be broken. And I think that guy, Finn Bogason, I think he is the type of guy who would get bums on seats. He's the type of guy that people will go over and, you know, watch us playing fucking Dundee United, no problem at all. Saturday afternoon, that's the type of guy that's going to, you know, that's what we want. You know, we want an exciting player.
You're right, because you're the type of bean counter that should be in Celtic Park there, because instead of just counting the 50 million or 50 million plus that they will have taken by the end of this season, 50 million plus in transfers and 2 successful Champions League campaigns. So just to spend 5 million, that's 10%. So I'm Mr. 10%. We should always aim for 10%. We've took in 50 million, get a £5 million striker up front, add another midfielder stroke defender. You don't have to go for 5 million, but a couple of million. Out of that, you get 3 players, 5.5 million, 2 million, 2.5. You get 10 million, and that's it.
I agree.
You're still a profit.
I agree.
You get a hefty profit, and then you can sell them as well.
I agree. I mean, from what I've read from this guy, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Baton or whatever the Israeli fellow. He does sound, from what I've read anyway, or that's the wrong way of putting it, he does read that he looks like this guy looks a bit of a flame. And first play.
Stay there, I'll phone you back. The line's gone bad now, yeah?
No problem. No problem.
Stay there. Right. As usual, the Skype starts to crackle. We'll get the good brother back.
Tommy. Now, Tommy, am I on live here or what? We're just having a chat here. You know, I need to know, because I need to know whether to put the telephone voice on here or what.
It's too late now, mate. You've been on for 15 minutes to the planet.
That's all right then. We're all right then. I can swear away then. That's good. That's fucking good.
The planet's listening, mate. You're on, mate. Every
good. Well, here, I hope the planet's listening, because you need to listen up. We need to say, if Peter Lawwell now has any sense about him, he's going to stick in a couple of quid. It will not break our wage bracket to be able to spend decent, sensible money on from Ferguson, from Heravan, and that guy will produce the goods for us. He will get bums on seats, and maybe we will not qualify from the Champions League group, but that's the type of guy that will ensure that we finish at least third and have
you got to give it a go.
Football after.
You got to give it a go. You aim for second, and you take these teams on and have no fear.
Absolutely.
Go to Milan, get a draw. Go and take Barca. Take thing. Game 3, be gone to Amsterdam. We could be sitting top with 7 points. With no seriousness, we could beat Ajax in Milan, Ajax at home in Barca.
You're right. We can beat anybody on our day. We can beat anybody. There is no fear out there. But what we need is the tools. We need the tools to be able to go at these teams. And these teams are no mugs. They'll have looked at the draw themselves, and it's all right for ITV and Sky TV to turn around and go, well, that's Celtic frigged, there's no that's Celtic out and all the rest. But I'm used to that. I'm 38 years of age. I've heard this all my life. There's no problem with that. But at the end of the day, what the likes of Lawwell needs to do is say, well, look, we need to arm ourselves with at least a fighting chance. We already have a fighting chance. Arguably the best support, certainly the best support in Europe. I'd love to have seen it drawn against Borussia Dortmund. I'd love to have, even though it would have made it harder, I'd love to have seen them being the pot 3 team, because I think as an atmosphere off, I think it could have potentially been a world breaker. I think it could have been something that people would have talked about. Those 2 legs, people would have talked about for all generations. I think that the Dortmund fans are absolutely fantastic. They're like us. They're passionate. The displays they put on, and that's the type of thing that we need to be involved in. But at the same time, you don't go to a fight. You don't go to a fight, wearing no clothes. You at least have a pair of steel toe cap boots on you. I think that Lowell should give the fans something and say, we're going to get that predatory striker in, and everyone knows the type of guy that we need in is Finn Bogason, and that's who we need. And I think if we could get the likes of that guy in by tomorrow night, then we have a serious chance of qualifying out of that group. And if not, well, that's fair enough. That's just the way it goes. We're going to have to, bed down, grit in, and just try and go for it anyway. But I think that Peter Lawwell he took a big gamble, and the gamble paid off. But I don't think it's much thanks to him for that. And I think the fans deserve a little bit of a payback now.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, brother, because as I say, you're probably the finest ever bean counter I've ever had the pleasure to have on this show. I mean, I've got a cousin who's a highly qualified bean counter at a major accounting firm that will remain unnameless now, because I don't like giving capitalist companies the time of day on this show. But no, you're probably one of the finest bean counters. You're right. We deserve. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm only winding you up, mate. No, but listen, you're right, because the bean counters at Celtic Park value them too much. And you're right, as Celtic fans, we suffer so much.
But Tommy, sorry to interject, but to be fair to them as well, I can appreciate the strategy in the sense that, whether we like it or not, whether we accept it or not, there is going to be artists formerly known as Rangers appearing in that league within the next 2 to 3 years. And if we look back at what they done, and they threw the kitchen sink at trying to lift old big ears that we lifted in 1967, and it worked out extremely badly for them. It didn't work out at all.
But we shouldn't. I hear what you're saying. Can I interject here? I don't think that we should look back and say, "Oh, look what happened to them," and use that as an excuse for spending any money, because and we all know how they failed, and our setup is differently. For one, we don't value victory to win at all costs, right? So that's the first starting point, and the second starting point is we've not got an egomaniac sitting there like Saddam Madass Hussein from Charlotte Square. I mean, Dave the Rave in place at Celtic Park. So that's the two main things that we have not got. That done name up, so we can afford go on a prudent way to put, like you said there, 5.5 million, because we as Celtic fans, I mean, part of it is enjoyment, right?
Absolutely,
and part of it is a bit of a sick kind of, I don't know. I mean, we suffer. I mean, I remember the 9 in a row. I mean, when they bastards done the 9 in a row. I mean,
I'm 38 years of age. I remember it well. And
it made us even.
I
was character forming.
Being at this stage when I was growing up. I remember growing up, and I remember turning around to my own father and asking him, "Why do we not win anything?" I actually remember saying that, because it was just considered, we don't win anything. That's it. This is what. Why do I support a team? Why is my heart invested in a team? And it's heartbreaking year in, year out. What is that? And, it's very difficult to explain.
It was character for me.
I was born in 1975, I suppose my first awareness of Celtic would have been probably, 1982, 1983. And you look at from 1983 right up to the present day, and you think, well, how many times did we win the league from I mean, the only time that jumped out at me, in fact, well, actually, literally, the only time, apart from the Dublin centenary year, was when we won the league at Love Street. It was like a total fucking couldn't believe it sort of thing. And I was 10 years of age, and 13 when we won the double. And apart from that, they won basically everything going. And I remember going, why do we not win anything? Very, very difficult to take. Very, and when you look back now, and you sort of say, when we lost in Shakhtar Karagandhi 2-0, and I was one of the few people on Twitter, and I said it, and you can look through my tweets, and I was one of the very few people who said, I wouldn't worry about this. I still think we can do this. I'm very confident we can do this. And there was a lot of Celtic fans lost their heads over that. And we were out, and that was it. And Neil Lennon needed to go, and blah, 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 blah. And we really lost our nerve an awful lot about that.
I was, count me in as one of them, right? But, right, a good brother had asked me to run him to Aberdeen. And I did. I took him up there, so just 2 weeks ago, and right in front of my very eyes, right, I was about, I don't know how many rows for the front, but I was on the 18-yard line, right, on the beach end, and in the first half, from what I saw, it was diabolical. And then when they went to Karagandhi, the stuff that me and other people had said on here, it all came to fruition. It was as if I'd never seen a Celtic game where I knew we were going to get beat, and I just did this, and then looking at it, and it was because of what we thought was, underinvestment. I mean, Neil Lennon coming out and stated, he came out and stated that he hadn't been backed, that he hadn't been given the money. So everybody...
Well,
everybody, hold on, Paul. Everybody...
comments after the game were extraordinarily strong for,
quite right, because,
manager...
Because quite right.
He was right. He absolutely was right.
because you stated it earlier on, Peter Lawwell never done much. It was Lennon and the team, the players, that got through. You know what I mean? So Lawwell came out with the backing, but maybe, and if they bring the players out because they've got Champions League, it's okay. We can see that, players wouldn't come in until we got it all sorted. But at that time, a week ago, in front of my very eyes, when I watched that in Aberdeen, and then in the days before it, we were saying, shit, what's going on here? We're chancing everything, we're chancing everything. We've seen what happened at Elfsborg, and then all of a sudden, 2-0 down, we come back for there and we're shitting going, this is unbelievable. I mean, it was your worst zombie movie slasher it was a Z-list horror movie that you couldn't make up, because you're sitting there going, we've sold our best players, we've sold our spine, and and people are going, I mean, and I had a chat with somebody else, and he was writing some points, I was writing other points, but one of the points I had with a boy called Richard was on the fact that, I mean, it was writing on the war time. I mean, you could just see how poor the Celtic team were, but thankfully we done it. I mean, on occasion, and you were right, mate. You were right, and I know your Jamsey came on as well. There was a few people who were right, but I'm glad it happened.
I appreciate though, but and I do apologise. I thought we could do it, but not out of any kind of blind faith, sort of, we can do it, sort of, I hope we do it. The thing about it is, the reality was, that team was rubbish, right? Shakhtar Karagandy was rubbish. Now, the thing about it is, when we went there, how many times have we played in the Champions League, or, well, I suppose to be fair to them, how many times have we played qualifying rounds in the Champions League where we have had 70% possession away from home, where we have had strung 5 times as many passes as the home team and not scored, and they've scored twice? I would reckon we're going back to the 70s.
You're right.
Into that level of domination away from home.
But then see what you're saying. Can you just come in here on that point? Right? See what you're saying?
Yes,
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right to 100%. But the whole thing about that game was we needed a striker. We looked at it going, shit, we had all that possession. And points I'd made to Richard last week when he was on was, we have no divine right to go on a park and win just because you have 70% possession.
You are dead right.
And just because we're a better team,
anywhere and win. Absolutely.
Just because we had maybe better players in Karagandy, Barcelona had better than us and beat us. So
Absolutely.
The signs on the wall were even more so the fact that we went there, we had an extraordinary amount of possession, like you said, unheard of possession, dominated, and then they came up and went boom, boom, 2 goals, and classic counter-attack football done to us what we done to Barcelona.
What we done to Barcelona, and you're dead right. And here's the other thing that I didn't hear, and I was disappointed to hear. Not one Celtic fan that I see or talk to give Shakhtar Karagandy any credit whatsoever for that game. And I was going, they were at home, they sucked us in, and they got 2 goals, and we scored none, but yet, let's cut us to ribbons. Let's give them a bit of credit. This was their cup final, and they stood up to it, and they scored. They scored, and they put themselves in a great position.
And then, let's be honest, in the second half at Celtic Park, they had chances as well. Of
course, and I'll tell you what, here's one person to be sold tomorrow at the Celtic Park, and I wouldn't raise.
Hold on. Before you say that, I need to phone you back. I need to phone you back.
Not that much of a problem with that.
Stay there and I'll phone you back. Are you there?
Yep, no problem. All right. Yep, no problem.
Hold on. I'm going to get better there. Hold on. Something about this is as soon as it goes 10, 12 minutes, the line quality just goes right out the window. So hold on. But it's cool, we get free calls so we can phone straight back.
Tommy.
Crack on, what were you saying, sorry?
How's it going, Tommy? It's Paul. Are you alright?
Yeah, crack on. Sorry to interrupt. It was just the line was going bad there. What were you saying, sorry?
No problem. I thought you'd take me through to San Francisco there or something like that. You know, we're going global.
I can put you through to Francisco. I can't put you through to San Francisco, but I can get you on to Francisco if you want.
Stick me through to Fraser Foster, for fuck's sake. Never mind that. The thing I was saying, if there was one Celtic player to leave us tomorrow that I wouldn't break sweat at, it would be Fraser Foster. I think over those 2 legs, and actually I think the games before that, Elfsborg, I think there's something wrong with a goalkeeper that cannot, even on a 6-yard box, he doesn't seem to even communicate once with the defenders. He doesn't shout. He doesn't want to come for a ball. Great shot stopper, don't get me wrong, but I just don't understand it. And I think you're dead right. They could have scored 2 goals the other night, even though, again, we totally dominated them. And over the 2 legs, we thoroughly deserved to go through, and we done it in a much harder way than we should have. But by God, they could have scored a goal easy at Parkhead, and we'd have been fucked. That would have been it. Would have been it. I don't think we had another goal in us. Certainly, that was extra time finished anyway. That there wouldn't have been any extra time. So, I just don't know. I don't know what's going on there. But to be fair, I don't think he was the type of keeper in the first place that was ever commanding in the 6-yard box.
But you got to get the fact that he's for a shot stopper, he's up there. Because well, you look at his side. Last season, that game against Barcelona, home and away. I mean, maybe that was his pop moment. Maybe that was his height. He could never get as good as he was then. Because I mean, some keepers you watch them, they get to a point and then they don't ever get to that greatness again. I think of Peter Cech and some goalkeepers.
Well, I remember a young goalkeeper that we had in the new camp who performed heroics many years ago.
David Marshall.
And unfortunately, Mr. Marshall, where is he now? Who knows where he is? So it adds a bit of credence to what you're saying. Everyone has a big game in them. Everyone is but it doesn't necessarily mean everyone is consistently brilliant in everything they do. And I don't know. I thought the other night was from a goal. There's the likes of Ambrose. I thought Ambrose was outstanding the other night. I thought he was a consummate professional. I thought he oozed class. I was like, that is the type of fucking defend. That's the type of defend I want to see. Comfortable coming out with the ball. But when the ball went in, and the long throws went in, you're worried about Foster. And you're going like, Foster, this is the guy that we relied on last season. This is our, England class goalkeeper. And I'm going, I don't think that guy has that. I think he's a great shot stopper, as you say. I don't think he's as good a goalkeeper as he's made out to be. And I think the defence let him off an awful lot the other night. And I think if we had him went out, I think, unfortunately for him, the blame would have been squarely at his door.
I don't know. I hear what you're saying. I'm with you. To blame individual players, it's a harsh thing. To blame goalkeepers, I'm very, very reluctant to turn my thing against any goalkeeper, just for a couple of reasons, right?
Well, Tommy, let me put it this way. The way I look at it is, I don't mind if we get beat, right? Every team gets beat. My only thing, when I watch Celtic, and as a Celtic supporter, all I want to see is, I want to see 100% commitment from everybody. And that's from the management, from the supporters, and more so from the players. And if we get beat, we get beat. That's the way it goes. That's football. You're not going to win every game, and that's it. Sometimes things work for you, sometimes they don't. But I demand to see 100% from people. And when I look at goalkeepers, and you look at the best goalkeepers in the world, you look at even the best goalkeepers in Scotland, in fact, even in Scotland, never mind, if there's a ball coming in, and they're going for that ball, they're going to even clean out their own defenders if it's within their 6-yard box to get at that ball, whether it's to punch it out or try and catch it or whatever. They're going to commit themselves to do that because they're showing commitment. And I don't see that Fraser Foster has been doing enough commitment in the sense of either coming for a cross ball or even if he doesn't feel... I don't even mind if he doesn't feel confident to do that. But what I expect him to do is communicate to his defenders. And if his defenders know what he's at, then they'll feel more confident in what they're doing and comfortable. And I think there's been a little bit too much confusion.
But then what about if a goalkeeper such as him is one of confidence and he's not confident in the people in front of him? Because there was one moment where you can define where he changed, and that was a penalty saved at Hearts, and at home and at Hearts, and it turned the game round, and we won the game.
I remember that, yeah.
And
I remember
he grew in stature.
Was that the last minute of the first half? Do I remember correctly? At home, at home. Are you talking about?
I can't mind, but it was.
I think that was the last minute of the first half, and yeah, Hearts and he saved that, and that actually turned our season around. And fair enough.
But then, do you know what I would say? But what I would say is, right, a goalkeeper for two teams, right, and he came back and he played blinders on last day of the season, right, and he helped cost us the league on both times, because in those both times, if it wasn't for him making outstanding saves, we would have beat his team more than 4 goals at Kilmarnock. And if it wasn't for his outstanding saves, Bellamy would have scored a second, Hearts and Sutton would have scored. They all had chances cleared off, and he played a blinder, right? Do you know who I'm talking about? Do you know who I'm talking about?
But what I would say, Tommy, is, and I do accept that point.
But hold on, wait to finish. Do you know who it was? Do you know who it was? Do you know who the goalkeeper was in those two games? But that helped us in the helicopter Sunday and the game after Seville. Do you know who the goalkeeper was? He played blinders. He played blinders, and I'd watched him, and I'd sat at Celtic Park when this new Celtic Park had been formed, and I'd seen, and then prior to that, David Marshall, he stood there and took pelters, right? And some Celtic fans held it against him because he came from a Rangers background and his father was a fucking hun.
I'm not interested. I'm not interested in that. See any of that fucking bollock. I'm only interested.
But hold on, mate. But what happened?
Yeah, when you put that jersey on and you get on that pitch, see if you give 100%. I don't give a fuck.
But do you know what?
If you want to march up and down the Carvahi Road on a fucking Sunday, you're there. You're a player for the team that I support.
But do you know what happened?
100%. But the key deal is you have to give 100% as well. You know.
But what happened with him? Celtic fans spooked him out, and you can actually spook a goalkeeper out. If you remember, it happened to Jim Leighton. It's like goalkeeper's. I would say it's like the goalkeeper's a version of getting the jips when you play golf and when you go putting. Their nerves go right, and they're very. And I think the goalkeeper there is very, very
vulnerable.
He would go on a good streak. Like all of a sudden, he was saving everything. You couldn't get anything past him. I mean, he's as a short stopper. There's no many better than him, but I think he's based on a confidence thing, and if he starts to make a few mistakes, he has to get that confidence back. And I think
that's fair enough. And I'm not saying
it's the most loneliest position. It's the most loneliest position in the pitch.
I don't expect Fraser Foster to produce outstanding save after outstanding save, and if he doesn't do that, then I don't want him in the team. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, if, for example, let's say I was in defence and yourself, Tommy, you were the goalkeeper, right? And we're playing in a Champions League qualifier, and my confidence is a wee bit shy, and there's a long throw coming in, and there's a corner kick coming in. I would want or expect you to go through me to get the ball.
But you're saying,
not forget about fucking anything else.
But if he's not got the qualities,
get that ball and the
but hold on. But if he's not got the qualities,
if it's the reverse. Well,
he's
hang
not that
on,
keeper.
Tommy. If it's the reverse,
he's not that keeper.
And
he's not that keeper. He's
but he's not that keeper. But he has. Look, this is the type of look. We need,
No, what kind of? Hold on. Right, hold on.
The level
hold on.
that we're
No.
at, we need a keeper that can do a lot of things. Right?
No, look, he's fucking. Hold on. You're saying you want a keeper to come out and come through them. If you watch him, right, he is very cumbersome and laboursome. His size. If you watch him going, he is better just staying on that line. The size of him is 6'7". If he's cumbersome about moving forward, just stay on that line and dive about like a fucking nut job. Anything else, right, apart from anything within past the 1 yard, you've either got a goalkeeper who will do everything, but he is limited. Now, if you watch him a couple of times, way back when he first got there, a couple of times when he came out, you look at him and I think his limitations is his keeper, and what you've got to do as a football player, right, and in anything at all in life, is limit what your enemy or the people you're playing against, limit what they know of your weaknesses, right? So if he's got weaknesses, you have to eliminate it. So if his weaknesses are his slow, then if I was his manager, maybe Lennon said to you, do move off that fucking line. You're 6'7". You're 6'7". Die for everything. Hold on, bro. Let me finish. Let me finish. No. Let me check. No.
You're dead right. But here's the thing. Then, if that's the case, then why are the defenders not then?
No, hold on. No, there's another thing. Right? Let me answer this, and I'll let you back in 30 seconds. The confidence is he's a confident keeper, and he should just stay on his line. Because some keepers can come out, but what he's lacking is in front of him. Now, last year he had Big Wanyamama, and he had Wilson, and he had Ambrose, and he had a settled defence, and so he could rely that he could stay there in confidence, and he kept building his confidence up. Every game after game, you watch him, game after game, he played blinders, and now he's losing it, and he's going back. So you're thinking, well, if you get the confidence, son, and what he needs to build the confidence is a stable back line. And if he got a stable back line, his confidence, and then Lenny can just say, look, and you might, and if he, and what you have to do at anything, if you're going there doing your creative thing way, is you should always go back and remember what got you the greatness in the first place. So everybody can make mistakes, but then if you remember, how did I do it? Right, so just stay on the line and dive, and you'll save everything, son. Just stay on, and then we'll sort everything out with a long defence. So what Lenny needs to do is get a stable defence, a defensive midfielder, and let the goalie stand in the line and fucking save everything. Yeah. What do you think, bro?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll agree with that, and I'm not giving the guy pelters for making individual mistakes. Every player does from time to time, but the thing that's concerned me is I don't mind if he makes mistakes. I'm not going to be on top of him for that. But what concerns me is for a goalkeeper, he doesn't seem to have as much control of the 6-yard box as I feel personally that a goalkeeper should have. Now,
you're right. No, you're right.
So
because he's cumbersome.
But if it's up to the coaching staff to say, don't you worry about that. You stay in the line no matter what happens. You stay in the line. You're a good shot stopper. You stay in the line. That's fine. Then it's a case of then the defence are not being communicated there's obviously there's certainly no on-field, in-action communication going between the goalkeeper and the defence. And I think there's something fundamentally wrong with that. Personally, I blame the goalkeeper for that, but it could be a coaching issue. You could be right. You said to Foster, you stay in the line no matter what. Don't you worry about coming for any balls. That's up for Mialby to sort out with the defensive coaching and all the rest of it. And he's going, well, I'm just doing what I'm told. That's fine. But at the same time, there doesn't seem to be a lot of communication going on. And I think that's concerning. That's worrying. And I think some of it is quite basic. And I think that, either you say, I've got the 6-yard box and that's it. And see if the ball comes in, see if you're in my fucking road, I'm taking you out of the game as well. I don't care. But so if you want to pick up players, you'll do it outside my area and that's it. Or else you'll do it the other way and you'll say, I'm staying on my line and I'm not moving out. But it's up to you to move and you can take 6-yard box. And that's the concern I have, is there doesn't seem to be a set level of communication. I mean, we were dealing with a team from Kazakhstan who were very one-dimensional, and I'll still be fair to them, and it was great to get through and all the rest of it. But I'll tell you this: I'll always remember the name Shakhtar Karagandhi. I always will, because they very almost put us out of the Champions League, and they shouldn't have. And they've done to us what we've done to other teams who had more ability than us. And I'll give them that credit. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't just dismiss them and go, I'll never think about them again. I give them credit. They were very one-dimensional. And they threw the ball in. We knew what was going to come. We knew. And we didn't look as if we had a clue how we were going to deal with it. And that's what concerned me. And my sort of view on that is the goalkeeper should just come and go. That's it. This is my ball, and that's it. And I ain't getting that ball. And if you're in my road, I'm going to go through you anyway. So, that's the way it is. And I just didn't feel that we had the communication right. And I appreciate your point, and I do think you're right. We haven't had a settled backline in a while. We're obviously got big tests coming up, but we didn't seem to have a communication line between the goalkeeper and the defenders, which was more of a worry as well, because sometimes you have to improvise, and to improvise you got to communicate, and if you're not communicating, then it's basically a kind of free-for-all, and it ends up a bit Marx Brothers-esque, do you know what I mean, in the box. And
the thing is, there's a chance that we could get turned over in the first two games. We could get turned over badly by over there, and Barca could come here, catch us off our guard, boom, boom, boom. There could be 2-0, 3-0 up. Not I'm saying I'm wanting it to happen, but it's going to happen. And what I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying this is people shouldn't go overboard and say, "Oh, it's all thing me," because we've got.
You're right. And
hold on. We've got many deficiencies in that team in the defence, right? And if we can only do that against Karagandhi and scrape through, then we have to be realistic. We're stepping up with the big league, with the big boys, and we could get horsed all over the place. But hold on, I'll let you come back here, right? But the thing is, and we shouldn't lose count of, is that Ajax are probably going to get humbled the same way from Ajax and Barca. So if we get humbled, Ajax is going to go the same way. And the most important thing out of a group is this, is accept that we got the Champions League last season, and accept that maybe the Europa coming third is what we should aim for realistically.
See, to be honest with you, I absolutely 100% agree with what you're saying. And I said this to my father the other night, and actually he had said it, had already thought it. In fact, I was thinking it last year, and that is, I think we should never aim for third, and obviously we shouldn't. But I think third is probably at this sort of stage, and maybe when the if there's any traction to be got in this sort of financial fair play league and stuff like that, and there can be a little bit more sort of proper competition in European football again. I think for the time being, I think finishing third would be the best thing for us, and I genuinely mean that over finishing second.
And I'm glad as well that we got this tougher group, right? Because if we'd got a group that was kind of mediocre, then we would have got our hopes up, and then thought, oh, we're going to get through this because last season we got through and we're going to do it. I mean, it would have been nice to get our hopes up against an easier chance and give us that chance. But to be realistic, even if we get through, okay, we're going to get loads of money if we get through to the last 16. But being realistic, how far are we going to progress?
It's very difficult to get any further after that, exactly. I would rather drop into the Europa League.
Do what Benfica did.
Think we have and think, do you know what? If we put our heads down, we have a chance to fucking lift this trophy here. We can fucking do this.
That's our level, yeah.
So I think
unfinished business.
Exactly, and there's Jose Mourinho tonight. If what I heard was correct, they get beaten penalties by Bayern Munich, and I mean that's the guy that he won the UEFA Cup against us. And friends of mine, Manchester United fans, and they were laughing, and they thought this was great fun, and you just couldn't handle them and all the rest. But the same team went on and won the European Cup the very next year, and that was my turn to laugh and say, well, that's how much about football you know. And the same guy, he's in the Super Cup tonight.
Here, hold on, before you go on, answer this question. Yes. Whose run down the touchline was better, Mourinho's at Manchester or Lenny's 2 nights ago?
I think that's a good question. I think Lennon's, because I genuinely didn't think he had the legs in him. And I've never seen him run as fast in my life. Never in my life. I just didn't think he had it.
It was like I was just so happy to see him so happy. I think they put him up for the 100
metres in the Olympics.
He would have. Him doing his bunny hops. The way he was doing his bunny hops, he could have gave 30 yards to Usain Bolt and would have still beat him. No, I mean, he was.
I think it would be an interesting race, and I'll be here, obviously, with a big Celtic support in the stadium. I think it would give Usain something to think about anyway, and maybe rattle him, and you never know. Lenny could end up breaking the world record.
I mean, it just showed you. I mean, I really wanted it for Lenny as well so much because, I mean, last season when he said how much pressure he was under, this season you could see it as well. And running down that touchline, that was just 2, 3, 4 months since the season finished. The guy is a thinker, right? And he takes things personally.
Yeah.
And he wears his heart on his sleeve, and it's because the guy he cares so much. And if you care so much for something, you want it so much. And the good things, you don't really care about the good things because you just want to deliver more of the good stuff for knowing that, okay, I've done this. But when he won the league, his thought is, right, okay, good, fine, celebrate, let the fans, that's good for the fans. But then he wants to deliver something else. So in his mind, it's not even about celebrating. Like when he got Barcelona or whatever, in his mind, he's not just about, he's wanting it for Celtic fans so we can celebrate. In his mind,
absolutely.
And the guy's a legend. I can't understand any criticism of the guy because I think he's a total Celtic legend.
I think Tommy as well, you have to realise as well, and it was after the first leg, and Twitter was obviously, everyone was upset and angry and lashing out, and I understood that, and myself and a couple of others, but not many, but I'll special mention the Celtic Tigress, a great girl, fantastic Celtic woman, Glaswegian girl, and she was with myself saying, look, this tie isn't over, this is 2 legs, let's just keep our heads. But what happened and what the messages that were sent to Neil Lennon's Twitter account after that night was, some of it was absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking.
I never checked out. I mean, was it right? Was it quite bad? Yeah.
it was bad. It was
well, see, I mean,
some of it. It was vitriol. It was disgusting. It wasn't like we were shit. This is terrible. Blah blah. We're not happy with. Some of it was real vitriol, and I was going, what is this? You know, and you know, goes back to your earlier point. We've no right to go anywhere and win football matches. We have to earn that right. And that night we didn't earn that right. But it doesn't mean that's it. Everyone has to cut off their heads and run around like headless chickens. But, you know, the things that were said and and I'm not a Mr., you know, Neil Lennon fan. I'll always protect him. I'll always stand up for him. You know, when things are wrong and things are shit, you know, turn around and you'll say it. But that night in particular, there was some, and it was ironic when he said in the press conference after the game, after the Carragana game at Celtic Park, and he was talking, and I know what he was referring to about the internet fucking blah blah, and it was about the people that were sending him things on Twitter, and honestly, Tommy, it just wasn't on. I mean, it just. Well, I mean, that's no way to try and be together as fans, and, you know, be going in the one direction sort of thing.
No, I mean, and I hear what you're saying. I mean, I invited a guy on he wrote a blog. His name's Richard, and he was on just there. I don't know if you heard it. He was on a few days ago. Now, the part of the blog that he wrote about the game, it was spot on. But then when he got to the end, his diagnosis was Neil Lennon's no got it. Get rid of him. And I put my point at different bits to him about it. I mean, and he put his argument across, and it's all about putting his points across. But as I put, you know, were you there when it was Lou Macari? Were you there when it was Thingway? He retorted back again. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's no way Neil Lennon deserves any type of abuse. And nobody's perfect.
Look, at the end of the day, look, we're all in the same boat. And, you know, there's a guy, and he does a great podcast, and, you know, a guy beyond the woods, he's on Twitter. He's a guy in America. And I know he was very, very, very upset after the, you know, and he was, you know, all sorts of blaming Peter Law for this and Peter Law for that. And, you know, what I was kind of getting from, and I'm not pinning the blame on him, there's no blame on anybody, but it kind of seemed to me that, you know, there was just a large section of our fans had just thrown the towel in, and that was it. We were beat, we were out.
Well, I was one of them.
There's no Champions League for us.
No, well, listen, hold on. I was one of them to a degree. I mean, I kept up hope, but I was just so angry the way the board were content with not doing anything about bringing players, selling the players, taking the money.
Yeah.
We played that team off the park, and we couldn't get a goal, so it was crying out. Lenny could see it. Everybody could see it. We've seen it at Elfsborg. We've seen it at Pataudry. Well, I did anyway. I was like, this team has not got enough nous about them to score goals, even a couple of goals. I mean, looking at it, and they didn't do anything in that game there at the weekend. When I watched the game there at the weekend against Inverness, again, they look second rate, they look jaded, they look, you know, there were so many negatives about it that I've been looking at it, and like we both said earlier on, I mean, Adam Matthews clearing it off the line, Fraser Foster making a few mistakes. We could have lost a goal that would have put us out. If we'd lost a goal midway through the second half, then there was no way back. So, but that's a fine line between success and failure. And we managed to ride it. We managed to ride it this time. But hold on. But just because we got through over the cracks, because part of the problem that I've got with the board isn't just about 90 minutes against Carraganda we get beat 2-0. My problem with the board is how they pay lip service to the ethos of the club and how they patronise and they lie to us. They're hypocrites to many levels. And I've got problems with the board. What they did to the Green Brigade, was it grandstanding or kicking them out or threatening to thing me? You should never do that with Celtic fans, be it, you know, to get your point across, whatever. So, and then the way they've run it, the malaise, and earlier on when I spoke to you, when the whole point of looking back over your shoulder and measuring yourself with Rangers or Sevco. We've got to, or the PLC has got to lose that mentality. They've got to lose it. They've got to lose it, because just now we're still suffering from the fact that we're looking over. Now, the fact that our biggest rivals, and to a certain degree, right, you need a rivalry, right, but we just don't need bitter, bigoted, racist rivals, but that's the rivals we've got. But Celtic, as a PLC, as a capitalist company, you do realise and you do see the fact that the people at the club secretly crave them being back, because it's money and it's all cha-ching, 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 whereas the ordinary fans look at it and say, we don't want them back because we don't want the racist, the bigotry. We want the Champions League. And that is why, for myself, right, and maybe other Celtic fans were just so desperate that we got into this Champions League, because more than anything else, we just need this Champions League to get it right up those to the other side, to show the media, to ram it down their throat that we can compete at the highest level, and then it means that their attitude of Armageddon and it's all fucking thing, we can just stick the fingers up and say, here, fucking Barca, I fucking live a dream and swivel, you bastards.
Yeah, I'm loving Armageddon. I mean, I think Armageddon's the best thing that ever happened to us. I mean,
of course, mate, we couldn't get
fantastic. It's great. Like, what I would say, I mean, I'm not really on sort of, I don't really like taking sides per se. I'm not really on the board side. I take wholly what you say with regards to, I don't think the board have invested enough in what the fans have invested in, and I think that's lamentable to say the least. I think the notion of Sevco, I think it would be folly, and I appreciate that it's not looking over your shoulder as such. I think, I think whether we like it or not, I think in 2-3 seasons they're going to be back in the league, whether we recognise them as the same club. Doesn't really matter. Everyone's going to recognise them as the same club, and it's thoroughly unjust that that's the case. But that could be our reality, and our reality could be very, very simple. They could come back very plausibly into the new reformed SPFL as a debt-free club, suddenly then receive an injection of funds, maybe do another share issue at that stage, because at the end of the day, that's going to be quite attractive to certain investors going, well, no matter about their past, no matter about them, they're a debt-free club, end of story. And we have to be able, I'm not saying stockpile billions upon billions of pounds to fight that off, but we have to be a little bit clever as to how we handle our money.
See the way this, but hold on. See, if we sat there with a budget of 100 million and Rangers only had 1 million, right?
Yeah.
See, because it's Scotland, see, because it's the SFA in the system, I would still give them a 50-50 chance. See what I'm saying? Even if we had 100 times, 100 times their revenue, right? Yeah. Because let's face it, right? You only have to.
Do you mind just 1 second if I interject? The big thing that we're going for as well, and this is big picture stuff, we are going for 10 in a row. We are going to take that record.
Hold on. Can I interject?
And you better believe that they're going to throw every dirty trick at the book. There'll be every obstacle put in our way to stop us from doing that.
But can I put it to you now? See, if it wasn't for the PLC looking over their shoulder and saying, Rangers are going to sell Chrissy Boyd, But okay, we don't have to buy another striker because Van Hesselump and fat arse McDonald are going to score us the goals and keep us 7 points clear. We didn't invest.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
We could have killed them off.
We have made mistakes, and that's why I'm saying I am not Mister. I'm backing the board in this. All I'm saying is that whether we like it or not, we have to have a little bit. Now, a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Not we need to just stockpile money because Rangers are coming back, but we need to be able.
Saying, hold on.
If required, to be able to react very quickly in case they get themselves into a position whereby they're going to try and threaten our 10 in a row. Because that's the show on time.
No, but listen, we should have stopped him. Right, we should have been going for 9 in a row now. Right, for the Celtic board, if we had put them out of the game,
you're right.
We could have put them out of the game because if they never had the Champions League money back 3 years before when they went bust, they would have went bust then. And the other fact is that we shouldn't again see by saying that the 9 in a row and the 10, we're comparing ourselves with shite. We've got to raise our bar above that level of shite.
We're not. No, actually, let me interject. No, we're not, and I'll tell you why we're not. We're going for 10 in a row because we're going for the record for ourselves.
I would rather
That's not to compare ourselves to anybody else. But what I'm saying is there will be, and you know it as well as every other Celtic fan out there, that they will not. Whether they're sitting languishing in the championship or whatever they want to dress it up as now, they will be throwing referees, they'll be throwing linesmen at it, they will be trying to put everything against us doing that 10 in a row.
Nothing new.
Nothing new, but here's the thing, but Lowell and the board, every fan knows, and we're singing this song already, here we go, 10 in a row,
but listen,
and that's the name of the game at the moment.
But listen, no. Listen, I would prefer that we were fucking gone, and never have to play them again.
Listen, if we get an invite to the English Championship tomorrow, I'd be saying, cheerio.
I would go further than that.
Great.
I would go further than
That'll
that.
do us grand.
No, I would go further than that. I would say this season, turn round to the English, right, and say, listen, we have resigned from the Scottish because of this reason. See, if I was a chief executive, I would go in and I would clean fucking shot with the SFA. I'd aim to shut the SFA down and Scottish football fucking down the higher regions. And then at that point, I would turn round and say, Celtic has been unjustly treated. We resign and we go to the fucking Reimer League. There's got to be a league that's part of a pyramid system and go right to the fucking bottom if need be to get into it, and then say, and if the English turn around and say, hold on, if the English turn around and say you can't get into the Scottish, then we say you've got Cardiff and Swansea and they're Welsh. And Celtic have got the moral high ground now that we can turn round. I mean, fuck's sake, they've got a player there who's got betting regulations, fucking thing me. All the regulations, financial prudence went out the window. They never paid their taxes. They should have paid their taxes. They shouldn't have even been in Europe. The last time they were in Europe, they shouldn't have even been put forward. So the SFA, for sitting on their hands, for their negligence, for the biggest sporting scandal in British football history, the fact that it's not been
probably
done.
Probably European football history.
Yeah, but Celtic have played it fucking terribly. He should be going there and saying to UEFA, look,
I agree. I'll tell you what, Tommy, I think that's very fair. I've said this, but it's not very popular, and it's a wee bit reactionary at times. I would have no problem whatsoever. In fact, not even no problem. I would actively support this, and that is if we said, this is our last season in Scottish football. We're joining the Ruston and Diamonds League, and that's us. We're out of here. So
get away from
see what you want to do. fucking whatever, just cheerio, that's us. And I think the adventure that our club and our support would have, going from nothing in non-league in England right up, I think will be
one chance to do it.
Like one of the best chapters in our history.
We've only got one chance to do it, and we've got in the next 2 years.
And
see if we don't do it.
Do you know what? Do you know what, Tommy? I totally agree with you. I think the best chance we have is when they're not in the league, because you don't need to worry about Tweedledum, because Tweedledum have nothing to do with it. It's just Tweedledee you're dealing with, and that's it. And if we can't get into at least the Championship or League One, I would say, well, fuck it. We'll just start off right at the very bottom, and we'll just work our way up.
What we do
and
is
I think
Celtic fans...
The adventure we would have doing that will be absolutely... something to tell the great-grandchildren about. It would just be absolutely awesome. And I think the chapters that will be written about that, some of the clubs in the Premiership would just stand back in awe and go, I just don't believe they done that.
Do you know, the only way it's going to happen is Celtic fans grow a set of balls, throw out all the fucking suits, the Green Brigade and ordinary Celtic fans take control of that club, and then we turn round within a season, next season, and turn round and say, we are resigning. And the reasons are that because next season a team will come back into this league who systematically cheated, who has offered no form of apology, there's no been any admission of guilt, and they're liable to go ahead and make not the same mistakes, but they're going to go ahead and make the same crimes. And we, as a club, will not be part. We have had to sit... This is a statement I would read out. We have had to sit here for over 30 years with dodgy Dave the Rave when he decided to wash his hands for £1 and allow a proven asset-stripping venture capitalist to come in and purposely and willfully non-pay taxes, knowing that the club would be put into liquidation as a result, and allowing them to forfeit paying over almost £70 million in taxes and bills to the baker, butcher and candlestick maker. And as a result, the misappropriation of funding and wealth, and the misappropriation of the governing bodies by not bringing jurisprudence, by not stamping down on the crimes, then there is no faith in Scottish football. The governing bodies are corrupt. They have got Campbell Ogilvie, who sat signing letters for EBTs. There's something seriously wrong and sick. And as a result, Celtic calls forthwith UEFA, FIFA to shut down Scottish football, and as a result, do full inquiries. We terminate our thingy, because at that point they'll shut Scottish participation down in all European sports, right? And they will not be allowed to compete anywhere, and that's what it deserves. And at that point, if Celtic or a CEO or the owner turns round, having delivered the statement of all statements, saying this is what these cheating motherfuckers have done for over 30 years, and we have suffered, and we will not play one fucking game when they're in our leagues. So it's not, and it's not even about a case of we don't want them. Let them come into it, but we are moving out.
I mean, I can't agree with you more.
We're moving out, and that's it.
To be honest, if you hadn't read out a prepared statement there, that's one of the most impassioned speeches I've ever heard in my life. That was absolutely fantastic.
But the fact is,
I can't find a fault in anything that you said there. I totally agree with you.
It's not I'm reading anything special, It's what they've done to us.
I genuinely think that I think this is a great opportunity over the next couple of years for us to leave Scotland. And I know it's a difficult thing. I mean, it's easy for me as an Irishman to say that, you know, and there's obviously an awful lot of There's a lot of our support as well here. Great Scottish people, and very entwined within the sort of the Scottish fabric of Scottish football per se. And maybe it's quite easy for me to say that. I think as a club, I think for us to reach the potential that we have, and I mean, let's be clear about this, the potential that we have is absolute superstardom, and I mean, Real Madrid, Manchester United, no question about that. We're only
limited
potential
as human beings.
Yeah, but we're limited from where we ply our trade. That's the only thing that limits us.
The only thing that limits a human being.
The sad thing about it is, and as an Irishman, I can tell you this for a fact, that a lot of Irish boys, growing up in, football teams, people are only interested in the Premiership. That's the sad thing. And if we could get ourselves into a position where we can, if it is going into the conference leagues or whatever, and try and work ourselves up after 5-6 years, whatever, after a while, we would, certainly in Ireland, even in England, maybe in Europe, certainly in America, see the 5-6-year-olds who are growing up and wanting to support a football team, we've got the best story to tell. We've got the, we've got something out of a fucking novel.
We've got the best strip, the best team, the best stadium, the best fans.
Exactly, the best support. It's like a book you'd read for bedtime. You're going, this is brilliant, and we have the potential to.
You're right, and
eclipse all these teams. For
the 5-6 years, knowing at the end of the goal and it would be a journey. And we would just have to go with it.
Exactly. It's a journey. Exactly.
And if you get to
exactly
that,
it. But I'll tell you what, you raised it, and for what it's worth, from me, just an ordinary punter, from what it's worth, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, and I would back you on that. And I think that's the type of journey that our club needs to go on, for our club to get to, a big time level.
Because you know what,
30, 40, 50 years, our club, I think the fans in 60, 70 years will look back and go, see the guys that fucking done that. They had vision. They done something that nobody would have dared to have done. And I think you're dead right. I think that's the type of thing that we need to do, because Scottish football at the moment is killing us. It's absolutely killing us.
So we have to kill it, mate, for the good of the game up here. And if we were to kill it by saying, by turning Supergrass, we need to turn Supergrass, turn Supergrass to the FIFA
good
and
Aberdeen
UEFA.
Fans out there, the many good Dundee United fans, Hibs fans, many fans of many good clubs in Scotland. I think that it would give them a sigh of relief, because suddenly Scottish football would become very competitive again.
Exactly.
And it would be, a great stimulus to other clubs as well. And, it's a shame, because, I would prefer if Aberdeen were as good as they were in the early 80s, if Dundee United were as good as they were in the early 80s. We're a great competitive league. I wouldn't have much of an issue to leave, if you know what I mean, but it isn't like that anymore. And
you know what?
We're bad for Scottish football, and I think Scottish football is bad for us.
And you know what, right? Rangers or Sevco would try to emulate, as everything that we do, we lead the way and then they just copycat. They're copycats at everything, right? So they would try to follow us, but then we would have a few years with the money we've got and the thing, and show them up, right? So the most key thing is that we would have to put a statement out to show them up for the cheats that they are, so that nobody would welcome them, because then they would say, oh, they've been gone down there and they've done this. But if we put a statement out there, fucking grass them up, turning Supergrass to FIFA and UEFA, and saying, look, that, Tommy, you're not fucking getting here again.
No, hold on, Tommy, just give me a second. The beauty about Rangers is, you don't even need to make any statements or tell anybody else what they're like.
No, we do, mate. We need to fucking put them in their place.
To go to different grounds in England, and then that's whenever they'll see for themselves. And that's why, and obviously you know this yourself, they don't get invited to testimonials. They don't get invited to glamour games in England because nobody wants them. They're hellions, they're animals. Nobody wants them there. The superiority complex that runs through that club is an anathema to most other football clubs, most towns and most cities throughout England and throughout Scotland, certainly throughout Ireland and Europe as well. And nobody's interested in them. Nobody wants them. You know, they draw somebody in Europe. They're in the Champions League. People are going, oh God, not Rangers. Not because of their footballing prowess, because nobody wants their fans coming to their city. You know, and that's the type of calibre that they have. So, you know, we would have an opportunity going through different towns and different cities and villages in England, and let's be fair, we would have our own, maybe we'd have to clean up our act a little bit in some regards as well ourselves. But Rangers, they tried to get on the same bandwagon 2 years down the line. Nah, it wouldn't work. They'd end up getting thrown out of the league. It would just end up their fans would be banned.
They wouldn't progress in any level that we would, because when we do things, we do it the right way, and we would win our way through on the proper way. But if they are having to deal with English referees.
Exactly. If you're
dealing with English referees, they're not going to get.
Yeah, and do you know what it all boils back to as well? What you said at the start of the call as well, Tommy, and that is, we've no divine right to win any football match, and that's, if you always have that in your head as well, then you're never going to be far wrong. You got to earn things, you know, and if it's earn things through your behaviour or through your, you know, through how you play or your guile or your... That's how you earn things. You don't just walk on, you know, well, that's great, that's on to the next game. Or even, you know, the fans would, you know, we stand in the terrace, automatically brilliant, well, that's great, we'll just go to the next match and that's it, everyone thinks we're great. You don't have to earn it. And that's what the thoroughly enjoyed the match the other night. The fans could have went to that game and went, well, we're just here to see if you can do it or not. But the fans, and I wasn't at the game, and you were probably at the game, Tommy, you know.
Well, the game there just in the week there? I know, I never went to the game.
You absolutely drove that team to the victory. It was a pleasure to listen to. It was, you know, it was...
Fuck, you know, you're turning into a robot. Stay there and I'll get you back. Oh, fuck, I'm phoning that guy. I'm phoning the parrot there. Shit, I didn't mean to phone the parrot there. How was ages ago? Parrot, you still up?
Tommy.
He turned into a robot. Right, bro, finish off in a couple of minutes.
Here, Tommy. No, I'll finish this off, but I have
to... The line was going too bad there. The line was going awful bad.
To be up in the morning. But it was just...
You better do your accounting shit. You better get ready. Get your bean counters fucking ready for tomorrow.
Aye. But the passion in the stands the other night, it was heart-wrenching. It was great to see. And the fans absolutely drove that to victory. And it was just like, you know... You're sitting in Belfast and, you know, you're watching the game on TV and you're roaring and shouting at the TV and, you know, we've all done that, but it's lovely to be at the ground, you know, shout the team on. But, you know, always remember that, you know, when somebody's not at the ground doesn't mean they're not shouting at a TV or shout. You know, it's like those voices that float round the stadium that you just can't hear sort of thing. And there was hundreds and thousands of us all around the world were shouting, and it was just brilliant. And I thought the fans should take a bow, because I thought the other night it was just spectacular, absolutely spectacular.
I know, mate, I know. No, I didn't go to the game.
Tommy,
it was brilliant.
I ain't gonna have to say goodnight, Tommy, but I'll get Tommy again. I'm up for a class tomorrow, but here, Tommy, see when you're doing getting out live phoning or whatever, I'll give you a shout and we'll get a bit of chat on the go anyway. Hopefully about us.
You know you're more than welcome, mate.
Good man yourself. Here, it was really good talking to you anyway.
God bless, Paul. You take care now, right?
No problem yourself. Right. Speak to you soon, Tommy. Good luck.
Hail, hail. Take care, bro. God bless.
All the best. Hail, hail. Bye. Bye.
The old Paul for Belfast. I think he could be a lost brother. I need to go and find out. He could be from my side of the family. He's cut for the same cloth as me. He could talk for Belfast, Derry, Dublin, Sligo, Waterford, Wexford, Tipperary, Cork, Donegal, and all the way back round again, and still not get tired. Me and him could sit down 24-hour shows for 48 hours. We could sit here talking for about 2 weeks, and you'd still be going, what's going on with these two? They're still talking. That guy's a kindred spirit. God bless him. He's got Celtic dripping out every orifice and pore. Passion, Celticness, greatness. A great brother there has just been on the phone. And it's the Paul Bean Counter show here. I called the name wrong. It's the Bean Counting Paul Crackpot show. Oh, I dropped the mic. Oh, is it on the mic? Mikey, you there, Mikey? Mikey's there. A round of applause to the good brother Paul. I'm sitting here exhausted now. We've still got an hour to go. Is the parrot still up? If the parrot is still up, come in, parrot. Are you there, brother? If you're there, parrot, give me a one ring sting. Oh, I could fall asleep here. Remember those old days when I used to fall asleep? Oh, this could happen again, by the way. I'm sitting here with a nice wee rug on the sofa, eyes wide shut. Oh, that's lovely. Oh. Don't worry about trying to phone me and wake me up. The sound is off. The sound is off. Is the parrot still up? Is he up? Parrot, where art thou? Where art thou, parrot? Come in, parrot. Right, we've got two options. We've got an hour to go. We've got three options. We turn the show off, we say goodnight. I struggle on, try to talk, but fall asleep and make some snoring noises. Or three, I play a tune, I go for a Jimmy Riddle, I get the kettle on, I get a quadruple espresso, I run back in, put another tune on if need be, gulp down said espresso, get absolutely wired to the moon, go for another Jimmy Riddle, come back on here and phone gas cookers in the US of A into the early hours until I fall asleep again in another couple of hours on the second show. So is it A, B or C? Answers on an internet postcard. A, B or C? Press your bets now, please. And we've got Ian Black coming in. He's betting on red, nothing in this game for 2 in a bed. And it's 2-1 Blackie. Blackie has went 2-1. We're giving 2-1 odds for Blackie to put a bet on Black. Black for Blackie. What's going down with him? What's happening with the Blackie boy? Right, I think it's time I went for a Jimmy Riddle. Jimmy Riddle and quadruple espresso time. What do you reckon, troops? Off. The Paris just phoned in. He's phoned in. My eyes were shut there, I couldn't see anything, and he's phoned in, I've just opened up. Right, we have life. There's life, Jim, but not as we know it. Right, play a tune, and then I'm away for a Jimmy Riddle, right? Jimmy Riddle, espresso, and parrot time, in that order. Right, I'm back in 5 minutes.
To know you won't beat us because we're the children of those that took the worst form of slavery and brutality that ever lived, that ever existed. Our parents survived the Middle Passage. Only the strong got here, and then we lost our name, our culture, our religion, and we're still here. So you may have a momentary victory, Mr. Bush, but you don't know who we are.
I pledge no allegiance. Fuck the president's speeches. What the industry did to Pac, they did to Jesus. Raping his vocals and then destroying the message. Trying to deport us if they can't destroy and arrest us. Government front religious, but their heart is empty. Like a televangelist preaching out of his Bentley. Calling abortion murder in a medical building, but don't give a fuck about bombing Iraqi children. Talking like eunuchs in a fucking libretto. Look at their mansions and look at your suburban ghetto. The gulag, the new hood, where they send us to live. Cause they don't give a fuck about none of our kids. That's why blacks and Latinos get the worst education, while devils run America like birth of a nation. Affirmative action ain't reverse discrimination. That shit is a pathetic excuse for reparations.
Come on, Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. It was you. Bush knocked down the towers. It was you, nigga. It was you, motherfucker. Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. It was you. Bush knocked down the towers. It was you, nigga. It was you, motherfucker.
They say the terrorism revolves around the Quran, but that's stupid. I show you why it's totally wrong. Cause if this country was invaded and crumbled, I'd turn Harlem into a Colombian jungle. And I wouldn't be fighting for a Christian nation. I'd be fighting for survival from extermination. I wouldn't fight for Fox News, them racist niggas. I'd be fighting for the hood, for the faceless niggas, for the immigrants America loves to despise, even though it needs them to make the economy rise. They feed us genetically modified garbage, so I repetitively reload the cartridge. Boston, New York, down to Atlanta, guerrilla war in the swamps of Louisiana. Camera panoramas of hammers couldn't rock me. East Coast to West Coast, you can't stop me. And fuck Schwarzenegger, his pops was a Nazi, and it runs in the family. So run for the Grammys, run to the Coon picnic, and try to pick up a mammy. But half of y'all are faggots trying to pick up a tranny. Eddie Murphy ass motherfuckers going commercial. Even Interscope is getting pimped by Universal. Green Tutankhamun lantern, a curse you and murk you. But the Bin Laden slush fund remix just burnt you.
Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. It was you. Bush knocked down the towers. It was you, nigga. It was you, motherfucker. Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. It was you. Bush knocked down the towers. It was you, nigga. It was you, motherfucker.
About your CIA money, Bin Laden. You fake motherfucker. You said Bush knocked down the tower. It was you, devil. It was you. Immortal Technique. KRS-One. Chuck D. Green Lantern on the track. They still lying to us, motherfucker.
Media turning the whole public robotic.
Hello?
Hello, Charles Green?
Speaking.
Charles, how you doing? Hello, can you hear me okay?
I'm in the car. I'm in the car. I've got people with me, so I can't speak.
All right, are you free later on, Charles? Yes, this radio station stands four squared beside Sharrow's Green, Imran Ahmed, Chucky Allah Brothers. Rip those fuckers off.
These mist-covered mountains are a home now for me, but my home is the lowlands, and always will be. Someday you'll return to your valleys and your farms, and you'll no longer burn to be brothers in through these fields of destruction, baptisms of fire, I've witnessed your suffering as the battle reached high, and though it hurt me so bad, in the fear and alarm, you did not desert me, my brothers in arms. There's so many different worlds, so many different suns, and we have just one world, but we live in different ones. Now the sun's gone to hell, the moon's riding high. Let me bid you farewell. Every man has to die, but it's written in the stars. In every line in your palm, we're fools to make war on our brothers in arms.
That's me, suitably refreshed. Almost good to go. That song was in respect to the good brother Paul and to anybody, everybody, brothers in arms. And I'll put this out to anybody and everybody. Free the people, because why should the people be slaves? And we'll be straight in with the parrot. As soon as this song, before even this song's finished, we'll just get a couple of verses and we'll get the parrot. We'll fade into the parrot. Next voice you'll hear, God willing, will be the parrot. ETA, 2 minutes. The parrot, he's just circling about his perch. He's just about to swoop in. He's swooping in and out as we speak. He's about to come swooping in. 2 minutes. He can take it to the bank. The parrot is swooping down in 2 minutes. ETA, 2 minutes. 2:21. 0221.
Laws were made for people, and the law can never scorn the right of a man to be free.
Free the people, let them have their say. Free the people, let them see the light of day.
A dismal dawn was breaking when they took her man away, not knowing what was his crime. Just what he was guilty of, not one of them could say, but they think of something in time. He says goodbye and remember, we shall overcome. Free the people, let them have their say. Free the people, let them see the light of day. Comforting her children, softly crying in the night, she tries very hard to explain. You know your daddy never did a thing that wasn't right, so soon he's bound to be home again. He is a good man, and he shall overcome.
What does it profit him, the right to be born, if he suffers the loss of liberty? Laws were made for people, and the law can never scorn the right of a man to be free. We are the people, and we shall overcome.
We are the people, and we shall overcome. We the people, let them have their say. We the people, let them see the light of day. We the people, let them have their say.
Hello?
How's it going, comedy buddy?
We have the parrot. How you doing, brother?
Just got my One Direction window, mate, ready to get a bid in for the bus for Amsterdam in November, in dialogue with Peter. Get something sorted out.
The One Direction. When's this game? Is it next weekend? The one with the Stillen, Petrov, Henrik Larsson, and all these other people plus One Direction?
Next Sunday, aye.
What is it with this line? What's the matter here?
Oh, yeah.
Stay there. Right, stay there. Well, we even got a call by an unknown number. That's better. Right. What are you saying then, bro?
No, just listen to One Direction with my One Direction onesie and my Green Brigade bucket hat, you know what I mean? Just soaking it up.
Soaking it up. What's your favourite One Direction song?
I'm actually Team Wanted, mate. Money's like the Wanted fan, so I'm not really allowed to like One Direction, but I've got 16 million followers, mate, so I've got to get them on side and get back for Peter.
But is this the new? Are we not jumping for the fryer into the frying pan? Is this the new Celtic we want? We've got new age Celtic fans who wear tartan and eat soup. Are we jumping? Do we need this? But do we know better with the soups? The suits in our soups?
Nah, mate. No CBD, mate. No, we're not having it now. Feel fresh, a fresh start. Fresh minds that can be sort of put in the right mindset, mate.
But tell me then the fact that.
Well, I'm proposing winter's coming. I remember the old casual hats of the 80s. I'm proposing half and half hats, half One Direction, half Green Brigade hats. We'll get these worldwide. The section makes a few quid out of it. One Direction get 50 pence out of it. And
how do we propose to get this? What's his name anyway?
What's that?
What's the name of this urchin of One Direction? 1D.
What's
his name? Is he Irish? Is he Irish? Do we have a name for him?
No.
Do we have a name? Do we have a number?
He's from Doncaster.
Doncaster. So what's he doing? What's he doing with the hoops? Why are we taking him up here? Why is he getting a game before you?
I'm the good chief. Come on. I'm the age of 6. I'm a shite. Come on. Yorkshire's got good pedigree in the last year for providing entertainment for Glasgow football. Come on, don't get me so pessimistic.
Maybe it's a new age type of Celtic thought entering into my head. I've been brainwashed that you can only think in a poor, pessimistic fashion. You can't think optimistic and happy thoughts. It's just negativity. They've brainwashed me, Parrot. How can I be returned to my former self without this negative? It's as if I'm walking with a cloud above my head everywhere I go now. How can I rid myself of such PLC nonsense?
Well, if Peter produces the goods and does like the great Jerry Maguire movie with Tom Cruise and shows us the money.
Show me the money.
Gets a nice green chip signing. They want somebody that the Rangers are wanting that owned the back of their strip. We're fed up with projects and plebs. We want a bit of brand quality. The fans are back to the club. The players are back to the club. The manager's back to the club. Bring the PLC back to the club. Had enough of it. They're at it.
And well, we've only got till tomorrow. Do you think that we will strengthen? Do you think we will get 2-3 players in? Do you think it's?
There's a lot of stuff getting thrown about. Oh, look at all the players that they've brought in. Why have they brought in? Nothing at all. You know, this is really need be decent. You know what I mean? But I'm not feeling that dull. If you look at the way the English teams are strengthening and all that, well, I'll be optimistic, but certainly my chief executives took a gamble. But it was your money he was gambling on, and it was your manager's performance and the team's performance and all that. You know, he's pushed the ball. And listen, I'm not saying we could have spent all the money right away, but that squad could have been complemented a wee bit better last month and touched up a bit in a striker put in. So we'll wait and see, mate. But hopefully we'll get something in before the window shuts tonight at 11 o'clock.
We've just been joined by a good person here. Are you there? Who's joined us? Anyone? No. We'll see if we phone this person back.
Listen, mate, I'm only a few minutes anyway, because I'm not early in the morning. I'm out for brunch in the morning, mate, so I'm going to have to be hasty.
A brunch. What time's the game on it?
2:30.
Right, say hello to whoever this is in first. See if they're coming on. This is Harry for One Direction.
It's Michael. Yeah.
Harry for One Direction is about to come on here. Sing us a song. Anyway, right, so 12:30 kick-off, so you're up for brunch. What time are you up at?
I'm going to get my safari suit on about 9 o'clock.
Safari suit.
Not for that. So you wouldn't make an effort earlier and show them up, wouldn't you?
So, Dundee United, what's your scores then? Scores in the doors, George doors, what do you reckon?
I mean, obviously, the team will be, hopefully they'll have a wee bit high edge about them after a fantastic performance the other night. So, they're always good games up there. I mean, hopefully Jackie Mascot and playing good football, you know. So it's all the other ex-players who are managers are doing well, whereas the obviously been up at Aberdeen there, you were up there, Polly, and I mean, McInnes has got them just playing like fucking ice hockey, but it's quite an interesting start. I missed it. Some bit of Radio Clyde nonsense appeared on my time.
Hold on.
Somebody was saying that they were talking about old Watty Smith's European record. Neil Lennon already's got a better record than Walter Smith in Europe. The Champions League in that, which is...
There's something else into it,
yeah.
So, hopefully they will got me a bit of swagger there tomorrow. What was your score there again? Somebody else just phoned. Your good brother for the Netherlands phoned there. If you want to phone back, bro, phone back. What was your score there? What do you reckon the score's going to be?
3-0, Baldy hat-trick.
3-0. Who? Mulgrew hat-trick?
Baldy, no Mulgrew, fucking hell.
Baldy hat-trick. I'll go for a 4-0. Fraser Foster will come up and score the last minute decider. 4-3 victory.
I'm expecting fucking Walls going to give that Swedish team £10 million to get the sheriff back. That's how you pisses all off.
No, keep the faith. He's gone for the new Messi.
Well, it's very interesting. You look at things like Kaká's being released, and you know he's at the door. It's going to be interesting. But no, listen. Hopefully we'll get a few. I tell you what, the managers overperformed with even less than last year. So it would be nice to entrust them with a wee bit of faith and say, listen, buy a couple of players that you really want, you know.
No, it's all right.
So
we're only facing Brazil with Neymar. We're Celtic with no money. They're Brazil. They've got Brazilian and Argentinian wonders. We don't need them money, mate. I reckon we should play a team of kids tomorrow, like a Dublin decider, and Lenny shouldn't listen to the panty wetters. He should stick the two fingers up to people who say he's shite and he's no a tactical fucking genius. He should just turn around and say, every single fucking game before and after, I will play with kids, and I don't care if we go 10 points behind in the league, and in fact I hope we do go fucking 15 points behind, because you know what, once we're finished beating fucking Barca, Milan and coming top of that group, then we'll come back for 15 points deficit and fucking horses. How about that? Fucking get it right up them. Fucking let them run away with it. Get a bit of competition in the league. We need to fall back here.
I said on Jerry Schurrell, I remember Jerry Schurrell, I mean, that's Ericsson left Ajax, he's a bit Spurs, so they're weakened, you know, they're selling players and that, so...
We're going to romp this, mate. We're fucking romping this, mate. I'm telling you, we'll have it in the bag. See by time Milan come in the 5th game, we'll have fucking humped him over there, fucking horse Barca with their Neymar, fucking home and away, Ajax. We'll be bringing back gas cookers by the dozen. They'll be like, oh, you're the best team in fucking world ever. Take us back to Glasgow with your fucking kilts and your soups.
My timeline's just been everybody going to the dam. I've not seen anybody saying, oh, we're going to Barcelona or anything, but it's funny, you see a sort of acceptance doing You know, we used to have to play that show and a show 4 times a year, and everybody's been all looking forward to the games. You see less and less of that now. I mean, the fact that we can welcome and entertain not just football teams, but you know, it's a people. You know, like the people of Catalan coming to Glasgow and celebrating everything great about life in general, and a certain things we share, not just for football, but we're out looking for a wee bit of our politics, and we see ourselves as a community inside the country. So it's good, mate, you know. And obviously I've made a very good friend that day. I'll never forget seeing that boy traumatised by fucking that piece of the head. It looked as if that wee alien that came out the stomach for the first alien movie.
And you know, he realised that morning that you had to eat. It wasn't satisfactory having a croissant and coffee as he was used to in Barca. He realised the benefits of having a full fry-up, and he went to town with that day, and yet, like you said, he still looked like as a survivor out of Auschwitz, and he's still just getting back to normal now, because any time I phone him up, he's like, I'm just getting better now, and I'm like...
Is he still his girlfriend, that lassie, mate?
Aye, he's still with the Polish lassie, aye, old Joanna, aye.
She's done well for himself there. She a twin sister?
Yeah, the Polish lassies are lovely lassies. They're all nice. Aye, the Polish lassies are good.
Nearly Lithuanian standard, your scam, I'll give you that. But aye, she was lucky they didn't take her at the big house, so they've looked her in the throat.
She's a heavy Larson fan. She's a heavy Celtic Larson fan. She's Barcelona nuts.
I tell you what a scoop you've got coming up in the next Celtic History podcast. I recorded something after the Celtic Graves.
Who?
I think, a boy called Naka for the Huddleboard.
Naka?
Naka.
He's a good boy, mate. I'm sure, was he the one? He went on Radio Snide and ripped him a new one fucking a year or two ago. He delivered probably the most salient points I've ever heard on anything on Radio Snide, and just ripped him, and then he just came, he went, ripped, and just disappeared. I mean, if I had fucking... It was just fucking brilliant, mate. I overcooked the pudding, as always, but what's he saying? What have you got?
Oh, you'll have to tune in, but it was a great story, but it was quite funny because he told me, and he says, I'm on the Huddleboard, only board I've ever been on, it's a fucking surfboard in Key West, Tommy, I have no interest and all that, you know what I mean? I struggle keep my Twitter account going, but no, I get some good tales, mate, you know, it's the game, first game and all that, but I've loved to hear it, helping Chris out, you know, because he's, as I say, it takes him 20 years to do an episode, and I says, Chris, he's still getting wrong. He's probably up in the drum. He recorded some great stuff, and the old guy sitting beside me, and, you know, our favourite players, Charlie Tully and all that, it's just stuff he would never really, you know, at the football, you talk to people, but it's that noise at half time, you know, that fucking cash and carry, fucking entertainer on it. You'd be better off with Simon Cowell than that fucking plonker. You can't get a gab with anybody, you know. You should be able to talk about the game and how you think things are going, but it's all drowned out there, mate. But when we get the stadium back, he's the first to go. I've got my list.
So
we're going to get your form of the NKVD, mate, and just tell the place at home. Time to take it back.
And what would you reckon for my idea I made earlier on there about when I was talking to Paul there? The idea that I was hoping you would refresh my memory for the idea that I gave him, because I forgot it already. It was that stunning of an idea. I fall into the Reimer East Division North. Stroke 4, 5, 6 division, whatever it takes, just fucking drop right into it, make a statement, say we have been cheated on a catastrophic scale, and we hereby serve witness that being of sound mind, these zombie fucks are never going to play us again, because what they have done to us over a period of 30-40 years has been systematic racism allied with cheating, at best dodgy referees, at worst just sheer, utter fucking cheating, whataboutery, and get them to fuckery. Because
I think
resign. We should be resigned, Parrot.
I think the incompetence is going to become very evident tomorrow night or tonight at 11 o'clock, because the SFA, in its rush to sort of punish this new entity, has meant that, you know, after being advised by UEFA, etc., they should maybe extend the transfer window to the same time as everybody else is Monday night. And I've even seen old Sherlock Pony here in the call great about it, saying that it's going to put the Scottish team in a position because we won't be able to sell anybody, buy anybody in. That when the window shuts, teams will be able to come up and take what they want, and teams won't be able to replace them. So it's SFA has just been like a Glasgow club, and anybody that's no from Glasgow, like Graham, or the States listening in, the majority of bowling clubs in Glasgow are wee clubs that were basically Muslim clubs that their wives get in on a Sunday, and Catholics or Jews or ones where they are allowed to play in. And there's still a few in Glasgow. There's still, you can look at certain ratings in certain bowling clubs, and it's very Rangers minded, you know, with the delivery, etc. And that's the we've had in SFA for 140 years. It's just been people with the right handshakes and an order ahead that's been getting in to do jobs, and their incompetence has just been blown open now, because people on social media are just interrogating them. And obviously the boy, I'm not a big fan of him, the boy STV Grant Russell Grant, whatever his name is, he sort of flagged it up, and the SFA had to correct himself when the transfer window was shut. So, you know, they're so accommodating. And I know Celtic's got to watch what they're doing, and everybody's waiting for them to lift their head up. I mean, you're probably not aware, Tommy, but that's all the Charlotte fakes. Tweets disappeared now.
Disappeared?
The account's been cleaned right out, mate, aye. There was a bit of talk, there was talk earlier on various boards, but Twitter things saying the fact that, I won't say his name, but I mean, you'll know who I'm on about when I'll say Mojo Winston's old agent, his son. There's been allegations that he knows who Charlotte is, and all of a sudden, boom, everything's disappeared, mate.
So who's Mojo Winston's agent?
Who's Mojo Winston's agent? Right, you know him, his son, who's obviously an evident blogger. So he supposedly, there's tweets out there showing you saying that he knows who it is, sort of thing, that, allegedly knows who it is, but so all the Charlotte account, all the Charlotte tweets vanished tonight. They were all deleted, and the AVI picks changed to like a girl with a gagging ball in its house. So I don't know what the crack is, mate. There's a lot going on. You know, obviously, primarily we're worried about Celtic getting a few more players in and getting sorted, but there's always got to be a cautious eye over there to see what's going on over there, because if you turn away and take your foot off the gas, we'll just fucking run over the top of you, mate, you know what I mean?
And see the thing that I said earlier on, and the good brother was saying that we have to get ourselves into a better financial position, and I suggested that even if we amassed a fortune of 100 million, and possibly in the next 2 years, Celtic, if we don't spend anything and get through Europe and sell everything off, we could have 100 million, but if we had 1 million, for talking sake, and they came in and only had 1 million, as a percentage, would you still say it's a 50-50 battle to the league based on their ability to play against shite teams, do just enough, and then when they come against games against us, fucking get it by a dodgy decision? So I would give it 50-50. What would you give it?
No, I mean, Tommy, for me personally, I was very lucky and I lived abroad for years, but I mean, people have got to get outside a bit Scotland is and look up at a hot air balloon. But basically, we're on the border of the most ridiculous, overpaid, overrated league in the world football, which is the English Premier League, right? Now, everybody talks
I know, I agree with you, but I'd still go to join it.
No, but hear me though, because for me personally, if Scotland gets independence, right? Scotland gets independence 2014, and hopefully we get our own laws and our own legislations and things. We do what the Belgians do. Belgian football's not got much money in yet, but what they do is they've got very relaxed laws bringing in young players. So Celtic can then go to Africa and Spain and South America, and we can spend the money bringing the players in with our own work permit laws to get these players in. And I'm not saying there's horror stories going about these young African lads that are taken in by clubs, and for every Victor Wanyama who makes it, there's 100 young lads that are promised abroad and failing football and left staggering about the continent. But, if Scotland gets independence, we start to know what he said. We obviously we've found gems like Azageri, etc., but we don't have to worry about following them for 4 years. We can get them near enough, get them on the platform that is the Champions League, do what the Portuguese do. There's not much money in Portugal, but you look at how Benfica and Porto are bought cheap, sold on for a lot of profit because they're part of the European Union like we are, but they've not got these ridiculous laws that, if Celtic buy a certain player, when you look at Manchester United had to do it with players, they would be loaned out to Europe. And a lot of them would never come back because once they left the club, that was it. So that's the future to me. It's getting the country independent. It's just worrying about
Hold on a fucking minute. Get the country independence. How dare you come on here after an hour, 158 minutes, and just slip in independence and expect to go into another sentence and not even have me comment and saying independence for what? What we get? Are we getting independence for banks? What independence for where? For who? Come on, Parrot.
Hopefully it means that we don't have arseholes like fucking Cameron trying to send the country to fucking other countries too.
But we have arseholes like fucking Bandit Face, who was there for the game and says, it was a wonderful family day out of sing-songs and revelry. I forgot his name, McCaskill. So we have to have bandits like him. I'd rather have Cameron Bandit on any day than somebody who's deaf, dumb, blind, stupid and a Masonic bastard.
Oh, very true, mate, very true. But for the revolution to work, once I've got my 15 million One Direction punters living in Scotland, we're going to be in a good place here, don't worry about it.
Fucking hell, you and your One Direction, fucking your bucket hat One Direction shit. You can't run. Look, it's like Alan Hansen said, you can't win the league with babes. You can't win a revolution. Fucking One Direction groupies with. I mean, they might have the best clobber and fashion style and Green Brigade finesse and looking to the part, but they're still One Direction, for fucking heck.
To quote the great James Morrison, when they meet the logo in the field of battle, they've got the guns, mate. They've got the onesies, but we've got the numbers.
The numbers. But we're going to go there team-handed with 60,000 prepubescent screaming fucking lassies giving it all Harry Styles floats my boat. Away you and fly shite at the woods. Away and fucking independence and fucking One Direction.
Look at Frank Ribery the night, right into the crowd. Tana, you have to capital for Bayern Munich and Amaldi. Harry Styles, bucket hat, Big Tana, giving a loudy. Come on, you boys in green.
You've lost the plot, and within 3 minutes, you're talking about independence, and then now you're jumping. Let's get back to the independence, right? Because this direction stuff's frying up fucking everybody's brain.
No, you're going to get all the philosophical talking about fucking the canal bank systems. Yeah, I'm getting brunched in 4 years.
Listen, hold on a minute, but hold on, I'm not going down that road. It's just how you glibly just threw it in there as if it was an acceptance that you can come on and without me saying, hold on a minute, what is independence? You just threw independence out. But can you seriously say that you will vote and you would recommend others to vote for Scotland to go independent from England? Is it seriously, right, a good idea? Are we going to benefit greatly? Right, I like to do a cost-benefit analysis, and for all the things that would be good, I can think of maybe double that would be bad. So what is the point when it gets to that stage? Why bother when there's probably more downside, more stuff that can go wrong than for the benefit it would give?
I want a demilitarised zone. I want a McNamara fence named after Jackie Mack, like the one
a demilitarised zone. The fucking loyalists have turned round and says they want to remain to the crown. So you're going to have the situation in Ireland reversed. Like these daft bastards here are going to turn round and say, we want to be loyal to England. And then you're going to get separatists from the Shetlands and the Orkneys planting bombs and explosives saying, we don't want to be part of the Union or Scotland because we want the fucking oil for ourselves. So we get the oil, Scotland becomes a backwater torn by fucking loyalist holes in the march, and you get shortbread caber tossing fucking salmon's lot, and then you've got the Outer Hebrides and the Shetland Islands fucking firing RPGs at each other, blowing up the whole fucking oil fields up there, and where do we go? We're in fucking a cross between...
Tom, if it goes to that shit, I've got a couple of spare Lithuanian passports. I'll get me you and Billy McNeil.
Oh, get me, mate. I've fucking fed enough. I want out already, mate. I'm gone. Me,
you and Caesar, you get the bus lined up and we're off.
See, I've got wonderful things, and the 10th and the 11th are wonderful days for me. Just coming up because the 10th was the anniversary of the Bold Jockstein, and then the anniversary of 9/11. But for me, it's going to open up an end and a beginning. It's going to be an end and a beginning. What?
The 24th my birthday as well, keep that in mind. Same birthday's Flat Sally McCoy's too. How fucking unlucky in life am I?
2 weeks and when's that? 3 weeks and Tuesday?
Let's just go share my birthday with Peter Lawwell. That would be fucking embarrassing.
Oh, you're sharing with steak bake coisty in the Parrot.
Oh, I'd rather break bread with Fat Sally than that Lawwell. There you go.
Right, but hold on, sort this independence out, Parrot. If it goes to civil war and it goes as bad as...
No, Tommy, I've lived in countries with civil wars. I've seen flamethrowers taking people out there. I don't give a fuck about that. We give the English their nuclear deterrent back, and we take the thing that England, that Scotland went Belfast. We get Belfast added and stopped here, and we all live happily ever after, mate. Let's get peace camps going, get free concerts every weekend, team the park every weekend. Let's get the country parting. Put a glass roof, get it like that fucking English holiday resort. We put a big glass roof for Scotland, keep it raining, mate. Happy days.
You've lost the plot, mate. You're wired to the moon here. We need England, mate. England couldn't. We need to look after them. They couldn't survive without us.
Who, England?
Aye, it does, mate. I mean, just because...
Listen, mate, I've been actually having a good conscious think about this, because I do feel sorry for some of the brethren down there, the good people in the North East and the North West and the
Exactly, solidarity.
And you've got the good Cornish folk who don't even see themselves as English, so
exactly.
I'd say we get a common name for bampots, and we just take the bits we want and we let the fucking Tories have the rest.
No, you see, you're missing the plot. As usual, for the shortbreads nationalists, we should be doing like Robbie Burns and taking an army to York and putting our fortress there and saying everything north of Scotland and Cornwall.
Robbie Burns is who fucking the Freemason who died in a clap, who worked for customs and excise, stopping people making their own booze. Stick him right up your well-fuck pass. You know, William Butler gets any time of the year. I don't buy into them.
But we should ransack all the way down to Yorkshire and call it Alba, and then claim Cornwall as allies, Cornwall and the rest of Alba. So anywhere north of the Watford Gap is Scotland, and then anything below that is Germanic Saxon foe.
There's been an Irish, there's been a cash and carry invasion, because Bonnie Prince Charlie of fucking Yorkshire come up and emptied the coffers at fucking Ibrox, did they?
See, that's what I'm saying. So we should just call it East Island, all the way from Watford, all the way up, and then we can get the loyalist Ulstermen.
Charlie made it as far down as Derby, or Derby, whatever you want to pronounce it, and obviously Chuckles made it as far as Derry and fucking chat it and turned in it, you know what I mean? So, aye. But I thought it was interesting that the League of Champions, and they couldn't even show the scamp Craigie. I was distraught, mate, you know what I mean?
He's sitting with the gas hookers. He was sitting there engineering it. He was like, I'll do this for the Tommy fella. He likes Amsterdam and gas hookers, and I'll get him and his pals to go and visit him over there. So Craigie boy was at the unseen feeding hand.
Any other time before then, they had fucking Jim White out there wearing his white trousers, holding fucking Monaco Wayne Street talking to him about business. So Craigie's hiding now counting the cash. Chuckles has supposedly agreed to sell his shares, which is illegal until a certain date. So, but we'll wait and see it. But we'll wait and see what players are going to come in. The E-Tims, and I'm probably listening to this on recorded it or listening. The E-Tims account was quite interesting earlier. I don't follow them, but Voter retweeted saying the fact that all Peter's 2 phones had been gone about players wanting to come in now or that. So hopefully we got a few sidings in. But as I say, I think today I'm going to give the squad the benefit of the doubt because they ran themselves into the ground there on night, you know. They did a mess around. Anthony Stokes and even B. Forrest and all that, and certain players, and even Mulgrew, I gave Mulgrew a hard time at times, but when players are played at the positions they should be played, and I'm not saying that as a tactical genius, but I think
we nailed it the other night there because we've seen the deficiencies of Izzy Gear, and Lennon obviously he's seen the thing with it, and he took the 2 defenders out, so he stabilised it right in the back. He put Matthews in and he put Lustig. I mean, to put Lustig in there at centre back with Ambrose, I mean, it was the Swede. I like that Swedish boy, mate. He's good going forward, and he's quite versatile at the back. He can play. You know what I mean? He's a good boy. You know what I mean? That I think it was inspired by Lennon doing that. To say he's tactically naive, I think Lennon proved to everybody there that he knows it's not a big man that doesn't make mistakes, because everybody makes it. You got to learn from your mistakes, so you can make a mistake and put your hand up and say, okay, I did it wrong, sorry about that, and then do it right the next time.
I'm still, I mean, obviously it's history now and my through, but I'm still quite aggrieved the fact that some people are defending the board's policy, and I'm not saying that which is fine. I mean, it's not a dictatorship. Everybody's welcome to have their own views, but I think we've seen the stress Lennon was under, and obviously his outburst after the game, because at the same Celtic and earlier on, if God forbid, if we had it out there, I mean, he would never have been able to come out and say a statement like that, because it would end up getting the sack. But since he's got through it, and it's always like a relief thing, because probably it's his own fault as well, because he came out the day of the game saying, well, I'm happy with the squad I've got. Now, he's obviously knows the player, and he's know the players know he's not happy. So for him to come out and say that lip service or try and cause a false confidence, it was a bit daft, but as I say, he's still a young manager and he'll live and learn. But every year that hopefully he stays there and his stock gets bigger, it means he'll be able to the achievement he gets, especially in Europe, because this is what he's really going to be measured on. He's going to be a more powerful, I wouldn't say opponent for Norway, because they should be trying to work together, but it'll be a more powerful adversary, you know. Because
I think he has bargaining power in there. You say there is an equal. I think he now can turn around, rightfully so, and say to Lawwell, fucking hell, I'm the best manager you've had. Not in an arrogant way, right, but in a sense that, look what I've done, right, under the budget last year where I took these 2, and then look what I've done now this year, having sold the players there, right, and then he just has to turn around and say, see, out the last 10 years, tell me the money that the rest of the managers have spent, and tell me their results in Europe, and tell me how many away results, and compare them all, and who is your best manager you had in that time, Mr. Lawwell, and look me in the eye and tell me the truth. And if because Lenny can do that now, because his record now, come the end of this season, will be on a par, and in comparison, it's a certainty we're going to win the league. We're in the last six. We're in the Champions League twice in a row, and
I think it's evident, though, Tommy, and it's no disrespect to the guy because he's obviously in the job. But you look at him, he's always a great trainer. I remember when the great Martin Lewis at Celtic, everybody said if he had won in Seville the FA Cup, they reckon he was going to get Ferguson was going to try to Man U, and Martin Lewis was getting the Man U job. But okay, I've seen David Moyes tonight, and you see him looking there, and he's never managed in the Champions League. You know, and I remember reading something. It might have been Oliver Kay or something. One of like the decent English journalists that writes for the broadsheets, and there was a trainer thought that Ferguson actually wanted Ancelotti to replace him because he had, you know, he had done well. He'd won the Champions League before. He'd won the Premiership before. He knew European football well. He was used to dealing and buying a certain standard of player and all that. But you look at David Moyes, and it's no disrespect to that he did at Preston or what he did, obviously, at Everton. But the standard of player he's trying to entice to, and don't get me wrong, Manchester United sells itself. So when you look at the manager, you've got, and obviously it's a big gamble by the club putting, and I'll put my hands up and say I didn't really fancy Neil Lennon for the job. But you look at the managers went to the Camp Nou before and went to Turin and experience all this. You know, it's going to be very interesting for me to see how the Manchester United board cope if his first season doesn't go well.
You see, the thing is, right, football has become higher paced, and players who are big, strong, physical, prosper well, technical players. And I mean, the players that we brought in, the standard of football in the last 10 years, I'm not saying it's dropped, but it's more of a younger person's game. And with our policy of bringing in young players, I mean, our squad, you've got more chance of doing quite well with a young team that's fit because, well, their freshness, their naivety, and they just get in about them. And that's possibly that's one of our strengths.
What I was going to say though, Tom, was to you said he's definitely a Man United, but where I was going with that was the fact that I think Manchester United have been quoted that if they want Leighton Baines and if they want Fellaini, it's going to cost them about £50 million. But the upside or the downside of that is that if Manchester United agree to pay it, I think they'll sign Fellaini. I'm not sure about Baines, but supposedly Martinez at Everton wants Izagiri to replace him. And this will work against this will work against us because our window shuts tonight. And obviously that sort of deal probably will only go through to Sunday night. And don't get me wrong, I know we've got a bit of cover there, Adam Matthews and Mo Brook and play or whatever. But this is how the market's working, mate. So we'll wait and see, pal, you know what I mean? But
we should go out and strengthen it and go for another young left back from El Salvador, Honduras, wherever. Just replace like for like. Go for the player with potential, and sign a 21-year-old and go with it because it seems to have worked so far. I mean, and the only thing I would want to tinker with the new is just say to Lenny, see what we did last season when you played a game and then you lost it and you didn't go back to that formation, i.e., you know, after the European game you play all the babes. And this season, whether we get beat, we've got to learn from the experience of last year that we will win the league. And so if we have to fall behind, then keep the main body of players fresh. So if it means playing a team, a thing with pride in between, I mean, that game against Morton, right, we're playing Morton, right, and I think Lenny has got to just strip the whole team and just say, well, okay, if we lose it at home and we're playing a team of Finlay, then fine, because you're playing 1 week, in the space of 2 weeks you're playing Milan and then Barca. So for that game there, and the game previous to that, and the game in between it, and the weekends, all those games should be stripped bare of the main players. Just put them in for the big games, and then give us more chance. You know, reckon, bro?
Well, I think there's enough hope for you see the young artists out there, the Bosnian lad that came on last week. Hopefully, there's enough players chatting the door now that they can, you know, and boys like Dylan McGeoch and all that. This is important seasons for Dylan, and that. And as you say, but I think as a squad, I think as a support as well, we're going to have to be patient. And don't get me wrong, I'd rather see a team out there that was thinking whether it be youngsters and a bit of fire in their belly. Because as you say, although the squad's a bit younger, we can't, and nearly the football, you get kicked to death every week. So I'm willing to sit down and watch 5 or 6 young players coming into the squad to just keep things fresh, mate. You know, and as long as you get another goal and play it Celtic, I've not got a problem with that, you know, but I don't want to see the lapless performances of last year where it was, although the players had performed well, it was a sort of, you know, if they've dubbed their record, this is saying we've got a big squad of players and we've got a lot of young lads, and you know, I've been tweeting pictures from the David Peace book, Red or Dead. You see guys like Shankly saying, that boy 17-year-old, oh, he'll do the deal, throw you in, on you go. And you've seen in years gone by, Celtic, you'll remember Paul McStay's debut, Derek White's debut. I think Derek White's debut was against Hearts, and it was a young player in today. So if there's good players added, that they can get by me, and it gives them a good chance. So we'll wait and see, mate. But
well, the best thing to do with a young player at 18, just pump them full of confidence and say, you are the best player in the world. Now go out there, the game's won, go out and play your best game, because you are one of the best players out there. You play for Celtic, we've got you here for a reason. Now go out and just play the Celtic way and rip them a new one, and give them the confidence, mate, and give them the confidence to go.
I didn't get any interaction with him from my legs for that charity in Belfast, so I might be after it. Tommy boy, maybe you yourself and you're alone, mate.
No, don't worry, I'll hook you in, don't you worry, you're getting hooked in, I'll get you hooked in. I've got the wee lassie here, I like that wee lassie Mia, she's a nice wee lassie, she likes me as well, so don't you worry, I'm good pals with organising it, you're getting waxed, sacked, cracked and everything, Maddie, so don't you worry.
You look like a cash and carry right side Fred Capel.
That's alright. As long as it helps save lives and it puts money in their coffers, then that'll do me. Listen, you've took up on my show again as usual. You and that boy, that Irish boy, you two can stop. You two are just mad talkers. You have no shut up the whole show, the two of yous. I'm going to have to go and do another show here, and I'm going to have to go and set another show up for now to go and phone other people here.
I've got Dorothy Squires to get his tips ready to not get to sleep.
Yeah, well, don't bother, because as soon as this finishes, I'm just going to set up a show within 1 minute and put on a Lena Martell tune, possibly.
Don't tease me. Half a risk is got a great tips in the iPhone they're asking.
I've not even got time to play a tune out. I'm playing a tune out. Enjoy me in 5 minutes. Back in 5 minutes.
Right, careful, spot to you.
God bless, mate. Hail, hail. Right. I'm looking at 7 minutes past. I'll be back at 12.